You know when the fights used to all be in Van Nuys at Muay Thai kickboxing gym?
Yeah.
So we went, and one of the guys fighting had his opponent scheduled, same size all. We get there, opponent's different. The dude's like 6'5", and it's supposed to be an elbow fight, and our dude was 5'9", and we're like, we're not gonna do elbows. Are you retarded? You're changing the opponent the last second to this giant dude, and like we'll fight, but what? And Brian was saying, I thought this was Muay Thai. What? They don't want to do elbows. A bunch of throwing a temper tantrum, bro.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh.
Yeah,
so
well, obviously
he was always like that.
It's also all in his favor. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know what I mean? Elbows is crazy. Like 6'5" versus how would you say how
he's
tall?
like 5'9".
That's your elbow range is like his punching range.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So he's gonna come in to probably hit the body, and then the elbows will be there, dude.
Yeah, you already cheated to get your advantage with swapping out to a giant dude the day before, or the day of, actually.
Yeah, you can't double dip on the cheating, bro.
Dude,
you can cheat once, and we'll allow it because
this
is Muay Thai. But
do you know what happened to Neil that used to run that gym?
Yeah, bro. Neil.
Crew Neil.
Yeah. I know some stuff, dude. I'll tell you whatever, bro. I'll put it on the house.
No, but just don't post it.
I don't mind. So, dude, look, I interviewed Neil, and Neil's a sweetheart, bro.
Because he had that gym forever. Well, Rex had it.
It was Rex, yeah.
And then he had it. And then, like, I remember they disappeared or didn't disappear. But I started following their page. I'm like, who the fuck are all these? This looks totally different.
Edwin, I think Edgar is the new guy. What's his name? Edgar, right? Something with the E. So I know Neil, dude, and then I know I was seeing a chick that went to his gym, and so she had been going there for a while. So she told me some of the juice because Neil wouldn't tell me, and I freaking knew he was hiding stuff before. This is before I met this other chick, and I went to that gym like once and met some people, but I could tell I was like, oh, he's kind of the way he's answering. It seems like he's thinking really hard. But anyways, so from what I understand, this is the history of it, right? So Neil was Crew Rex's stepson. I believe it was
his stepson.
Yeah, I don't think it was his blood son, right? Crew Rex, he was at American Muay Thai, I believe, right? First, and then something happened. He split, and then him and Neil's mom, they started MTK, right? They ran that for a while, and then eventually Crew Rex and Neil's mom got a divorce. And so Neil's mom took the business in the divorce. I don't know how she did it, maybe because she invested in it, but she was able to finesse her way to get into it. And then she had Neil run it because obviously I don't think she knew how to run it. I don't know her. Maybe she did. Maybe she was a fighter. I don't know. But then that's how Neil took over, and then he started running it. Years later, Edwin was like one of his friends, and something happened, bro, where Edwin basically bought out Neil, and I don't think it was like on good terms because I don't see Neil there anymore. And I asked Neil,
he's never there. He goes to Defiant and Burbank.
Yeah,
with his
right.
boys. And
I did ask him about that, and he kind of like the answer. I can't remember. You could go like if this makes it, you guys can check out the interview. I asked him about it, and he kind of just didn't seem.
He didn't want to talk about it.
Yeah, I could tell he didn't want to talk about it, and I'm not saying he's a liar. None of that. Neil's just a good guy. He's not going to.
I mean, he probably had a bunch of fucking personal drama and got caught up in it.
Yeah.
And then I would take a stab, but it's with zero evidence. And maybe he got enough drugs or something because he looks tweaked out now.
He's very skinny now.
Yeah. Maybe it was a health concern because I remember Dobler looked like he was on his deathbed a few years ago. He had something going on. He looked like a Holocaust survivor, but he bounced back and then moved to Thailand.
Yeah.
Dave, my coach, had a spinal tumor.
Yeah.
He was almost paralyzed. It was like 3/4 of the way from like cutting off his spinal cord.
Damn.
But that dude's too stubborn to die, so he made a recovery.
They cut it out and all that? Or
they cut it out, and then he was in a back brace for a while, but he's doing pretty good now. He's like back to walking and being a douche.
Damn, science is cool.
Yeah, so, and then one kid that we worked out with, we always thought he was a bitch because he got hurt in a fight, and he's like, oh, my knee is bugging me. And I'm like, dude, suck it up. Turned out he had cancer in his knee. They cut that shit off from here and gave him a giant-ass replacement.
Damn, my knee hurts. And I just thought it was from Muay Thai, dude, because I'm 35 now. But now I don't get
checked out.
Damn.
No, I know, dude. So many guys. A buddy of mine passed away last year. He was like, oh, my back hurts. He went to the doctor, pancreatic cancer. He lived 10 months after that.
Oh, that's like some Steve Jobs, bro.
Yeah. So, anyways, yeah, we can formally get away from all the negative.
Damn,
put you in a bad mood.
I don't know. It's all good though. I like to hear the history of people, right? Anyway, so you ready to get started? Welcome back to the show, guys. Today, I have a very, very special episode. This episode, I actually did promo for. I've never done promo for this one.
Oh, really?
No, never. I just kind of drop and record them. I don't even tell people who I'm interviewing unless I'm really excited. But this episode, we did a little promo for. It was cool. Everyone's been wanting to know who this man is. Let me start with his acolytes. I'll start from the beginning, from at least what I know. This man, he helped found The Den, which is currently in Long Beach, but used to be in Pomona. Pomona, is that right?
Yeah, that's where we used to be at.
He's coach. You fought too as well, right?
I fought a few times in amateur, but I was really bad at it. So I didn't like picking on people my size.
Yeah. All right. Well, he's a coach, ex-fighter. A lot of you probably know him from the hit Instagram Cali Fight Pull Out game. If you don't know about it and you're a fighter, you got to go freaking follow that page. It is the best, dude. It's the best content in Muay Thai, in my opinion.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah. So please welcome to the show, Alex Mayok.
Yeah, there you go, dude. Thank you, man.
Did I get that name right?
Thanks for having me, Mo.
Did I get it? Did I pronounce it right? Mayok?
No, but it's fine,
Damn.
dude. It's all good.
Bro, people get on me, dude, when I talk. I on Sundays, I do UFC like solo episodes where I just do fight breakdowns or just like reactions. I always pronounce the names wrong, not because I want to. I just suck at it, you know?
Well, dude, to be fair, I say it wrong because it's supposed to be Miyok and I call it Mayok, so it's not a big deal.
Yeah, I always pronounce names wrong. It's kind of like part of like talking about other people. They get on my case, man.
No, I'm not butthurt.
They get on my case and I'm like, bro, this isn't the show for that.
The fighter podcast where they get butthurt about their name.
Yeah. I'm like, look, I'm gonna do my best, but all I do is get high, and I'm gonna tell you the technique I see, and if they like it or not. The names, look, man, the spelling's right there, bro.
Yeah, dude, I'm not tripping. It's all good.
No, but I'm just telling you, it's a common occurrence, and I always tell people, dude, what's that? There's this other fight podcast I follow. This white guy, I can't remember his name, dude. I wish I could give him a shout out. I was going to today, but he's like legit with his show where he'll like practice their names. And I'm like, go watch that, guys.
If you want more professionalism.
It's like fight culture. I can't remember. I'll add a link today because I got to give him a shout out. He's got the best content too, and for the serious stuff. You got the best funny stuff.
The only other one I know of was Jonathan Pu'u's from, I think I'm saying it right. His last is
Oh, you better get it right, bro.
Pu'u Muay Thai. I think that's the only other podcast I knew about was his.
Yeah, I know of. Well, this guy's. It's not like a podcast. He does do every once in a while. His is mostly like reaction, and he'll tell you like it's mostly UFC related. So I can't remember his name. You might follow him. He's getting pretty big now. He gets like thousands of views, dude. Anyways, yeah, watch that guy's show. I'll give you a link if you want proper spelling. But Alex, bro, I mean, dude. I guess we'll start from the beginning, bro. I mean, I guess I want to know, like, how did you get into Muay Thai? Like, I know you're a little bit older than me. You know the grades.
Thank you. A little bit older. Awesome. I turned 40 this year, so not too bad. But let me fast track the beginning. I started in Okinawan karate when I was 12. Did that for 13 years. It was a really old school spot, dude. When I walked, because I got picked on as a kid. I wasn't anything, you know, so there happened to be a little karate school on the way home, saw it and decided to go do it, dude. And back then, like, which wasn't that far, it was 99. But this spot, like, they almost didn't let me start because I was too young. They didn't have a kids class of any kind. Like, the karate class was all adults. So they let me go, and that was sick. I did that for 13 years. I got a 3rd degree black belt in the Okinawan karate. And then as my instructor kind of started retiring, I was like, I'm going to go do something else. And he was cool about it, dude. He always encouraged us to do whatever and to try as much as you can. And always, like, if you go to a gym and you want to do their stuff, just do it how they tell you to do it. Don't make a thing about how you do it. And that's it. So I found Muay Thai after that through one of my buddies that I did karate with. And he went to the gym first. It was OC Muay Thai. And then I followed him over there. And that was it, dude. And I think a year and a half in, that was Coach Dave Jansen over there at OC. I don't know what he's doing right now. I kind of lost touch with him a little bit, but there he decided to try to open up a camp in the Philippines, and there was like nobody else available to coach. And so I kind of got thrown into the deep end of it. Way too inexperienced, but that's it, dude.
You went to the Philippines?
No, he went to the Philippines.
Oh, he went to Philippines.
He went to the Philippines.
So you're running his gym here.
I was running his gym out in Seal Beach.
That's crazy, bro.
No. He went out there to do a camp. And they were building it, and that was back when that giant typhoon came and like wiped everything out.
Oh, terrible.
So everything just got lawnmowered over, and that's he came back over here and took back over. To be fair, or to be 100% honest, when he came back, he kicked me out after running his gym.
Like, didn't even let you train there?
Yeah.
Was it like bad blood or what?
No, so we made amends since, and I talked to him, and he was like, "Oh, it was just business, dude." Like at the time, he didn't give me a reason because as he came back, he had a different assistant coach that was taking over. And I could tell, like, I'm getting pushed out, basically. So I would just train on my own. And I was like, hey, dude, I'm going to look at properties and try to open my own gym. And I told him, like, every step of the way, I'm thinking about this, that, and the other thing. And he goes, yeah, sure, no problem. But when I had my lease and I told him, like, hey, dude, I got a lease and keys. He's like, oh, nice. That was like Monday. Wednesday, he kicked me out of the gym for, am I too quiet?
No, I'm just dropping it. It's the camera angle.
Oh, okay, my bad.
That's my bad. I said that.
Nah, they don't need to see my face.
Don't even do. We got a pretty mug, bro.
But thank you. So yeah, I had my keys and a lease on a Wednesday. I went to OC to go tell him, and fucking he like looked irate and kicked me out and didn't give me a reason. So it took quite a few years before I hit him up again to say like, what's up? And he was just like, oh no, it's business. I thought you were going to take clients from me and shit. So
did you end up doing that, or were you respectful?
No, he was in Seal Beach and I went to Pomona. So
yeah. Oh yeah, you didn't even. Yeah,
that was like 40, 50 miles to drive.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
That. So no, the weird thing too with that whole situation in coaching is a lot of the students there, I'm not their coach. Dave was their coach and Dave left. And so to them, I was just some dude running the gym, and it makes complete sense, dude. I'm not, I didn't try to act like their coach or anything. So when I left, nobody was going to go with me because I'm still not their coach.
Got you.
So Dave came back and that's what they wanted.
So were you just managing it, or were you like running classes?
No, I was running all the classes.
Really? No one was like, oh, I fuck with this guy's style.
Yeah, no. That's not 100% true. I had 2 students that I trained from scratch while Dave was gone that didn't know Dave, and they went with me. So one of those was James, and he's the one running that reopened the gym in Long Beach and is running it now.
Damn, that's crazy though. So this man leaves, and you basically like take care of his like name.
Yeah,
and dude. It's interesting because like the gym world is kind of like that, right? It's like it's either gonna go one or the other way, right? You'll have like a guy that teaches you things, and then when you decide to start your own brand, they kind of like blackball you,
Yeah, and it happens a lot.
It's more than often than not. But then sometimes you'll have guys that actually like help you out and encourage you, like your karate Okinawa. He kind of like encouraged you,
Yeah, and that was like a blessing too, because a lot of the foundational karate stuff, like it's not like really applicable to a lot of fighting or whatever, but like the precision, the discipline, the attitude of train as much as you want and just do what that you like was like probably the best thing I took away from it was that philosophy. And so just being really anal about technique, and that's kind of how that I took into the Muay Thai coaching, to be super anal about how everybody looks and strategy and what they can or can't do.
Yeah.
And so
yeah, it's a big part of traditional martial arts is the way it looks. It's not like how effective the move is. It's also how good it looks. Something that I at least in a lot of the gyms I see, they don't really like focus a lot on the look of it.
The technique is really lacking these days. You see the jokes I post on the page.
Just knock them out, bro.
Good
That's
job.
all it is. Just knock them out.
It's just, and it's money, dude. That's the industry now. That's why I talk shit about fucking everything about the Muay Thai industry, because the sport's not growing. I think it's regressing backwards. I don't think there's going to be another like Kevin Ross that comes along and is able to fight Senshai in his prime and, make a name for himself. I think those days are kind of gone.
They laugh at us, bro.
Yeah.
We only have how many fighters in one? Like 3 Americans, maybe?
You got Asa Tenpao, Eddie Abasolo, Luke. Jackie Boonton, because Janice retired.
Janice is done. That's all I can think of, bro. You got someone else?
That's it,
baby.
Yeah. And it doesn't seem like they like Asa that much. They snubbed him on that bonus when he won.
I know he does good though. Why didn't they? What's up with that?
I don't think
is this personality thing or what?
No, I don't think they like the Western fighters doing well.
That's true. That's true. Actually,
that's my take. But yeah, dude. So, and I started the Cali Fight Pull Out page because I was coaching a kid. He was super dedicated to it, and on weigh-in day, his opponent pulled out with some bullshit excuse, and we're like, what the fuck's going on? I don't think he made weight because he was a big kid, like looking on it, and they were supposed to fight 125. And so I was like, this is bullshit. And my buddy John from Bangkok, Coach John and Majali over there, Bangkok style Muay Thai, they were talking about it, and they're like, let's make an Instagram page to call this shit out. And so I did the AI logo and a bunch of shit, and then
it's so good, bro.
We waited. I think I waited 2 or 3 fights before I posted my student's fight that got pulled out. I can look. Oh god, it's recording on my phone the whole time. But like, it's just, I think it's the least amount of recourse and responsibility you can post about, to hold somebody accountable for something.
Yeah, I love what you did, bro. I think more communities should do that, dog. It's like people from the outside, if you've never trained, you never fought, bro. It's like so much goes into fighting, dude. It's like, aside from the diet and the training, it's like the time that it takes away from your family and stuff,
It's a second job.
Yeah, for sure.
Because if you're putting in enough time and you equate it out, it's like 30 hours a week that you're training.
Yeah.
On the low side.
Yeah.
So it's a commitment. And the downside for that pullout for my student was it kind of really, not really, it stopped his wanting to keep going and training.
The weight cut's the worst part.
Yeah.
You did that for no reason. I could totally see him being like, bro.
Yeah, so it really killed his passion for training, and he still trains, but he's like, I don't want to fight, dude. Like if that's going to keep happening and all that other stuff. So, and on that note too, that's why I don't like the PKBs, because they pull that shit too, where you pay almost $100 to register. You know, you're not guaranteed a fight, and they don't give you a refund or anything, dude.
Yeah, that's vicious that they don't give you a refund, dude.
Yeah, so it's like that I see that I'm not a fan of. And you know, we were talking before we started recording. You know, the tiered payment system, armbands, belts. You know, like there's so many things that gyms do now, and I get it because you got to stay open and you got to keep your doors open, otherwise nobody trains. Mm-hmm. But dude, it's some guys are just kind of over the top, like with the commercialized shit. You know?
Yeah, I feel like if you want to be profitable, it's like you're gonna have to go to the commercial route. It's like the more it's like I feel like the more you want to be like an all fight gym, the less profitable you become.
No, there's no way.
Yeah, so it's hard to find that balance, dude. And I think we're like, as time continues, someone will figure it out, you know, and be like, this is the key to success. But it's like
I think we're stuck, dude, because there's no high quality pro promotion in the United States that's paying. Even if you do one FC, you're not really making good money after taxes and your team and travel. You fight what, 2-3 times a year at 50 grand a pop? If you're lucky, 50 grand a pop.
Yeah, I don't think you're getting that. I don't even think you're getting 50 grand. Bro.
Yeah, that's Ace of 10 pow winning and getting 50
dude.
grand. Yeah.
Dude, I love how ONE FC, they started announcing the win bonuses and stuff, knockout bonuses and bot.
Oh, geez.
They used to do it in cash back in the day.
I think they're running out of money too. That's the rumors, bro. That they're going out of business.
I've been going deep about that stuff, bro. I've seen just the cost to run it, and then I noticed how they've been doing it at that stadium. What's that stadium? It's in the middle. It's like in the middle of nowhere. It's like outside the skirts of Bangkok.
Oh yeah.
And I read the reason they do it is because it's like cheaper compared to like Raj and all these other stadiums that are in the main city. It just shows too, bro. I don't know. It's sad, but it is what it is.
It sucks because, like, I think their rule set for MMA is better than the West.
I love it, bro.
The head kicks and for all you groundwork people, like, if you're gonna get head kicked on the ground or whatever you want to call it, that's gonna step up your BJJ and wrestling game too. And like, you're gonna evolve with the sport.
Yeah,
you know.
And also the elbows. You can elbow to the back of the head.
Yeah.
I think the elbows to the back of the head. I know it's fucked up and shit, but it. Not being able to elbow the back of someone's head, it favors the grappler because they can just shove their head in your chest now, and they don't have to worry. As long as their face is covered.
Yeah, same with not hitting a downed opponent.
Yeah.
You know, like all the American MMA rules are geared towards wrestling and jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, people don't want to admit that. They get so flamed when you say that, but then you compare, I'm like, look at Japan, bro.
The only death threats I got were from and you can figure it out on the page because it's the only one, was from the groundwork fight that I posted.
Yeah.
He was pissed, dude. And then he had friends fucking sending me death threats and shit on there. And I was like, I don't give a fuck, dude. I'm fucking strapped as shit. So if you want to come over, feel free.
The man walked in with the bulletproof vest, by the way, guys. Maybe we'll get a picture of it later, but a bulletproof vest.
Hold on. I came in dressed as Bane because I thought it'd be funny to do a reveal, but that mask hurts. So
yeah, we're gonna just take it off. But he just said, fuck this shit.
No, it's fine. So yeah, that was funny. And what's sad is he sent me memes talking shit, and they were funny.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, we could have been friends in another life, dude. Your meme game is on point.
It'd be funny if you followed your personal account.
None of that shit's linked. Well, now you can figure it out. So yeah, you can follow my shit.
But wouldn't that have been so funny if he's like,
if he was like some, yeah. But that's all. I stopped. I don't think you follow my other page, my main page.
The Padman?
Yeah, I followed
Padman. I followed Padman before, because he just started Cali. But
okay.
Yeah, I think Julio, one of my teammates. I think he's trained with you, or someone from my gym's trained with you. I remember they posted back. I don't know if it was your back when you were running the den, but you were over there holding patch for someone. And I just was like, oh, this dude's tight. I just followed you.
Yeah, dude. I missed the Pomona gym was sick because it was a big, like 2,500 square foot spot, warehouse, industrial. We had no street view. Nobody knew we were there. It was like tucked in way back in a corner. And so I just didn't have the students to keep it going. Really.
Yeah.
So it kind of sucked. And then what also sucked is as guys leave and they go try their gyms, they're like, oh shit, like we didn't realize how well we were being treated at your spot, you know? I'm like, you mother dude. Like, but it's, that's business, dude. So
yeah. Yeah, I think people associate the cost of like a membership with like the quality, but that's kind of not always true. No. And I'm gonna be honest, dude, a lot of these newer, smaller gyms, when they first start out, that's gonna be the best quality work you're gonna get for their value, because you're gonna have like a pro fighter that became a coach or something and decided to start his own gym, and he's gonna have all the time and attention to give you, It's something that I've actually brought this up with my gym, dude, is like we're at the point where we'll have like 40 students a class,
Dude, that's good.
It's pretty crazy, bro. That's like on a regular basis. We had to move gyms because we need more mat space. I kind of like the other setup before, but anyways, but there was a time, bro, when I first started like years ago, it was like Dude, I remember one time we had like 12 students and I was like, damn, it's a packed class.
Yeah,
you know
that's how I was, dude.
You know what I mean? So
if I had that many, I was happy.
But yeah, so back then when it was like 6, 7 of us and like everyone or majority were fighters, it's like we were getting personal time with Frankie. Like every day you would get like a little bit of personal pad work with Frankie, you know? Now it's like, if you want personal time with Frankie, you better schedule that, bro. He'll let you know if he's got time, you know, unless you got a fight coming up.
Yeah, the way I used to run my class was how Dave used to run his, and it was go run your 5K, go do conditioning for 45 minutes, and then it'd be pad work for an hour, where it'd be one person hit for 30 minutes and then switch, and then we'd stretch, clinch, and spar after. So like class would go 2 to 3 hours, but and people don't want to pay. They don't want to commit to that kind of time frame nowadays, you know. So you probably see like most gyms have everything split up. Yeah,
that's kind of how it is nowadays. Is I'll usually go and I'll do my lifts and all that, and then then like the following hour I'll go do like my actual pad work. I don't even like lift at Spider anymore. We don't have weights anymore. Our gym just all mat space, dude. I was so sad, dude.
You just start doing some clapping push-ups. And
I gotta go to fucking Planet Fitness because it's the closest to my work. So it's like weird because I'm lifting weights with all these people and I'm like, I could kick you in the face, fool. Give me that shit, bro.
Yeah, try that. But it's I don't know where I was gonna go. My brain just stopped working there for a second, dude. But
it'll come
yeah, training's definitely different nowadays. And I'm not that concerned, or I'm not that like depressed about having gone out of business in 2018 because COVID hit. I would have been shut down anyways.
Yeah, that was crazy. COVID was crazy for everyone.
So, but yeah, dude, Cali Fight. You know, we don't actually. I post mostly memes now because nobody submits pullouts anymore. Nah, dude, that dried up.
Yeah.
So there's been a couple though.
There hasn't been a lot of fights lately though.
Yeah, but I've had some submissions. So the rule is I need either the coach or the fighter to submit it. You know, so I've gotten third party submissions, or I've gotten weird ones. Somebody submitted one where the opponent was a minor. It was like 17 versus 18. I'm like, I don't think I could post.
Yeah.
Talking shit on some kid, you know.
Is he the 17-year-old that pulled out?
Yeah, the 17-year-old that pulled out.
Don't do that. You still
So, and there was one time the fighter that submitted it asked me to take it down because the guy actually had gotten into a car accident and wrecked his leg. True. It was legit. So I took that down. So I do some due diligence or some research on these when I post them, you know. I had a funny one, and this is the only one I regret not posting it, because I used to have a rule about not posting pro fights. But knowing the coach of the fighter and how much I don't like him, I should have posted it. Yeah. Because it was I'll get into this drama too and call these guys out. But
oh no, baby, let's go.
It was for this woman, it was a pro woman fight, and the opponent was out of CSA gym up there, and she had pulled out for whatever reason. I don't know. And the person submitting it was somebody that just happened to train at this gym. It was Mission Muay Thai in Long Beach. They're over there. And they're like, oh, she pulled out. You should post this. And I go, are you any of the staff or coaching? He goes, no. I'm like, well, ask Jace, because I know Jace, how Jace is. And ask him if you want me to post this. And he never got back to me. Yeah. But I should have done it, dude. It would have been hilarious to start a shitstorm between CSA gym and them. Yeah. I would have just been hilarious. And so then, this is public knowledge, so I don't feel bad about saying this. They did end up fighting a few months ago, and the Mission girl was overweight by a few pounds and lost. So it's like, you want to, you know, this is why you don't open your mouth about certain shit, because when it's your fault, you're going to look even worse.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't even think about like that side of doing what you do is the enemies you probably make between all the gyms and people, bro.
I don't think I have too many enemies, really, because I don't get that much negative feedback from the guys that get posted about. They're like, they'll say something like, oh, that sucks, or dude, take it down, please, or something like that.
Yeah, that's honorable.
But, yeah, you know, honestly, if coaches communicated between teams and just said, hey, dude, like, I'm so sorry, my guy can't do whatever, he's not making weight, and they just DM'd each other and were honest about it, this page wouldn't exist. Yeah. You know?
But I think that it's what you're doing is important though, because it's like you're just holding people accountable. You sign the contract. I get it. Life happens, dude. And like in those cases, it's like, okay, try not to don't post them and do your best to find out the truth. You know, obviously it kind of is hard because one person's probably going to be biased. You know, someone pulls out of their fight, they're going to be like, 100%. This fool, they're lying. Yeah, 100%. You know what I mean? You got to get a team, bro. You got to get some investigators, baby.
That's the thing. The fun thing about the internet.
You go send someone to the gym, you know, and just chop it up with them.
No, like they fucking send it in and they go. A lot of times with the pullouts, what happens is they go, oh, they pulled out of this fight and they're scheduled for next week. Yeah. And so it's like, all right, post them that one because that's bullshit.
That's definitely bullshit, yeah.
So anything on like weigh-in day before, if it's a week or 2 weeks out, that is kind of in a time frame where like can happen.
Yeah.
You know, it's not great because the other guy is still cutting weight and stuff, but it's like, it's a tweener.
Yeah.
You know, unless they pull the shit where they pull out the week before to go do a fight somewhere else, then yeah, that'll get posted.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, I haven't had submissions for a minute, dude. Like funny ones, and they're supposed to be funny. I use the Chat GPT. I use Chat GPT to like make up some fucked up stories to post it and try to make it humorous. So I'm not just calling them a piece of shit, but
yeah,
you know, people don't.
I love that you're using ChatGPT, bro. That's like a way I've never thought of using ChatGPT, bro.
No, yeah, just type in, give me an excuse, give me a funny story for an excuse that somebody twisted their toe or something stupid.
Yeah.
So it's been hilarious with that shit. And then it's also funny because there's a really clear divide on the gyms in Southern California on like which side of the fence they are.
Yeah.
And that breaks down right through the Master Toddy line of gyms. It's everybody that's not affiliated with that side of it DMs me saying this, and all the other gyms affiliated on that side do not.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Why is that?
They're probably the ones getting called out. Well, the jokes and all the bullshit I post about the training industry directly apply to the Master Toddy side.
Yeah.
You know?
There's a Master Toddy right up the street right here.
Yeah, they just opened over there.
They were here for a while, but then they like shut down for a little. I don't think they actually shut down. I think they pretended for COVID. And then like I guess they're officially back open. I mean, it's cool. I met some people there. I trained there before. I mean, I don't know, man. I'm friends with everyone. Yeah,
I'm not saying don't train. You know, train wherever the fuck you want. It's just I don't like tiered payment system. I don't like belts. I don't like the certifications for saying you're a crew that's blessed by the Thai national, whatever the fuck. Yeah. I don't think any of that means anything. You know. And then again, I look at people post, oh, we're certified in this, that, and the other thing. You look up the program that they're using to get certified. It's fucking $50 to $150.
Yeah.
In 10 minutes, dude. So I don't think the accolades, unless you fucking were in Thailand, you have the Lumpini, you know, belt or whatever, or, you know, take something legit, then your certifications don't mean anything.
I mean, even if you did go to Thailand and train there and all that, that type of training is not going to work down here. It's different, bro. Like the styles are different. Everyone's lives are no one here is a full-time fighter where they're only fighting. You know?
That's the biggest thing holding it back.
Yeah.
You know, it's such a niche sport, and the training seems so brutal. I don't think it really is that bad, but like it appears bad, you know, because you're getting punched and kicked in the face and all that other stuff, or maybe you get cut with an elbow on accident. It looks bad, but I don't think it's any worse than doing jiu-jitsu and getting your shoulder ripped out.
Yeah.
And jiu-jitsu gyms are a dime a dozen and they're all packed.
Well, I just think with jiu-jitsu and that type of sport it's softer on your 100%. Joints and stuff like that.
Well, until it's ripped out.
Yeah, until it's ripped out. But I mean, with Muay Thai, it's just you know, constantly kicking 1,000 times in your lifetime is gonna f it up, you know? Yeah.
You look at like John Wayne Parr's all f***ed off.
Yeah.
You know, Carnage, all the older guys that have been doing that shit forever, all their hips are replaced and stuff. It is rough.
And then you also have the other side of things like the CTE, which is not really existent in jiu-jitsu.
That's another reason I stopped competing, because my last fight I got the kicked out of me by somebody my size, and it was just me getting punched in the face for 3 rounds. So I had a sick ass concussion after that. And I was like, yeah, this isn't for me, dude. I'm already retarded enough.
Yeah, I've been trying to like not spar as hard lately because I just was like, damn, I'm 35 now. You know what I mean? And it's like, dude, every time someone's got to fight, I'm always like, all right, let's go, dude. Let's run this fade, like, you know, for the whole camp.
For my size, or like how big I am with the students, because all the students are like 150, 145 pounds, you know, I have pretty good control, and I'll let them work in sparring or coach them through sparring. And the caveat is, don't catch my leg and sweep me, because I already had a reconstruction on my leg or on my knee, and don't crack me in the head, because I have CTE and I get migraines like frequently. So please don't do that.
Yeah, I'm being nice to you, so be nice back.
Yeah,
I don't have to be nice.
But if they do crack me, then it's game on. And
exactly.
Back, so.
Yeah, like I said, I don't have to be nice.
Yeah,
choosing to be nice, respect it. But yeah, the other thing too is like I've interviewed some fighters that had CTE, and I just was like, holy. Dude, like this could happen to anyone at any point in time, you know?
Well, it's scary, because I remember it took a couple years after that fight to where I wasn't talking with a slight, I probably just did it right now, like a slight lisp and slur. And I was like, oh shit, that's probably from getting cracked in the face too many times.
Yeah.
You know?
That's just how it starts, you know?
Yeah, so I cut it short.
Yeah. So that's the other thing between jits and Muay Thai, why people gravitate towards jits. I like jits. I did it, but it's not the same, bro. Like, you know, I mean, maybe it's because I'm biased because I like striking sports, you know, but there's just something about beating your body down, like in Muay Thai, that gives you like this feeling of family, you know, with the people around you, you know?
It's hard, you know, and if you can, and it's a point of accomplishment if you could tough it out and do the training and stick with it, and you competed, right? I think you fought and shit, so, you know. I think there's a reason why every jiu-jitsu gym has 1,000, medals everywhere, because it's easier to compete, and striking gyms don't.
Yeah.
There's trophies, and it's easy to go. You can get second and third place medals for jiu-jitsu. There's no second and third. I'm not, you know what, dude? I take it back, Mo. I didn't lose my fights. I got second place in my fights. Okay, so I didn't
That's
lose.
not a lot. Yeah.
I got first place once, and I got silver twice. So that's what I'm going to go with.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, dude. It's interesting, bro. I mean, and back to what you're talking about, how like you think we're regressing in the sport. Like I feel the same way, bro. I feel like a few years ago there was a big push, and you started seeing a lot of things like, bro, you started seeing fighters come out to America and have fights, like big names, and then now it's like, it's
dying again, or it's dead.
What's going on, bro? It can't just be the coaches and the gyms. It's got to be something else.
I think it's kind of in a weird spot, because it's like, what came first, the chicken or the egg, right? So training culture, I've noticed with kids nowadays is it's rare to find the kid that like wants to do it for the passion and wants to grind it out. They got better shit to do. The second they get a boyfriend, girlfriend, they go drink or party, they got other priorities, So that level of like just doing it to do it for fun, I think is gone.
Yeah. Because
everybody's, for the most part, using Muay Thai as a stepping stone to get into MMA and like fluff up their MMA record and help their striking. It's not like there's no promotions. We have a few amateur and a couple pro, but the pro's not paying any money. Excuse me. So without money behind the sport, there's not going to be a passion behind it. Nobody's going to get their head kicked in for the sake of getting it kicked in. And the path to the pros from amateur has a lot of politics to it. It's, if you're dedicated to it, go to Thailand and fucking get your however many pro fights you want to do. It's going to save you time and money. You can go to a camp. If you train and you're good, you can go to a camp. They'll fucking give you a fight in 2 weeks. If you stick with it and stay there for a few months, you're going to get pushed up to Max Muay Thai or RWS or whatever. They're going to get you into a show if you're actually good at it.
Yeah.
You're not fucking fighting the tuk-tuk drivers all day long.
That's how you start, though.
And that's how you start, but like you can.
But that's good though. That's how you want to start.
Yeah, you move in. Yeah.
It's just, I don't get it though, because it's like I'm thinking about, when I think about it, I'm like, boxing is still relevant, and that's also like seen as I think it's even more of a stepping stone to MMA than.
But there's still money in boxing.
Yeah,
there's still a perception of money in boxing.
You don't think that you think it's all a facade?
Well, I don't know if it's a facade, but I think it would be really difficult, even if you're the best boxer in the world, to go from amateur to pro and get the money, because you have to also have a personality. Yeah. Because what is it now? It's fucking, what is it?
Social media. Oh, who's the biggest?
Which Paul brother is it?
Jake Paul?
Jake Paul. There you go.
Yeah.
It's all the WWE, UFC style promotion.
Yeah.
So it sucks, but that's kind of where it's at.
Do you think if we just piggybacked off of MMA and just accepted it and just try to like do deals with like the UFC to be on Fight Pass, and
I think that'd probably be definitely a way to go. I think you need somebody like a Dana White with a ton of money to do an Ultimate Fighter style thing for Muay Thai to get it going. You're gonna have to modify aspects of it for the Western culture. Get rid of the white crew and the Thai music. But did the thing turn off or what?
No, it's okay. my text. Yeah, bro, I've thought about that a lot, man, within the last few years, because I'm like, bro, what's gonna happen to the future of the sport? I love Muay Thai. I like MMA. I did jiu-jitsu and all that. I love all of it, but it's like my heart's always in Muay Thai, and it's like there's no MMA for me without Muay Thai. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm like, how can we make it grow?
There's got to be more American-born MMA fighters that are sick on striking to draw attention to it again, Which there is, I think the page is Mitten Muay Thai. He keeps talking about not Thai-style training. There's another page that did that, but he says how Americans are, we don't catch up to the power, the technique, the clinch work's gone, all this shit, right? And his response is, from my understanding, maybe he'll DM me and talk, but let's replace it with American MMA and wrestling, boxing. Let's use American sports to fill in the gap. And it's just like, or you learn Muay Thai how it's supposed to be, and you don't have to fill in the gaps with American bullshit. Because that was tried already, dude. You had American kickboxers get kicked out of them in the 80s with modified rules.
That was gay kickboxing though. That was like karate with boxing hands.
Yeah, but no clinch, no elbows, no, there's something else that they cut out. They only allowed leg kicks, and I don't think you were even supposed to knee.
I thought they took out they added the low kicks later on, I think. Yeah. But I remember the earlier styles, because I love the history of like martial arts, bro. I was watching a lot of those fights with Chat Singra and what was that dude's name?
Rick
Rufus.
Yep, that's the Kickboxer movie, dude. That's what the Kickboxer movie was based off of.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, man. I actually want to do
and he broke Sungrit's jaw in the first
First
round and dropped him
bro.
right at the end.
Dude, you can't do Thai full. Dude, you can't take out a Thai like that, bro. But anyways, yeah, I want to do a video where I basically watch that clip and I just talk about it on my YouTube channel.
That's what I wanted to do.
We should do it together, bro.
Yeah,
I've been talking about it for years.
We should set up, dude.
I'm so down.
If you could do it where it's like picture in picture and watch the old golden age fights and see what, that'd be sick.
I'd be so down. I had a homie, Justin, that's also into fighting. He actually got me into Muay Thai and I told him about this. I was like, I want to watch this fight and show the world because it's been forgotten, dude.
Well, to bring up, we gotta like, you can bring back the WCK classic fights with like Kevin Ross and his girlfriend Gina Carano, Miriam Nakamura, whatever the her last name is.
I can't pronounce that one.
Nakamoto.
Yeah, she's still Miriam's still pretty active on social media too. I want to get her an interview from her, bro. I hit her up. Hit me up, Miriam, if you're watching this. I love to like talk to her. But anyways, yeah.
That reminds me of another funny story because she did a seminar during COVID. I was already out of business, and we would train like at random UFC gyms and just try to get our group together and work out. And this is when I ended up DMing somebody on Instagram who was Jace from Mission. I was like, because somebody recommended, oh, he's so good, and hit him up. I was like, out of more of an ego, I'm like, I'm gonna beat this ass. I don't give a shit. So I DM'd him. I was like, hey man, why don't you come spar? Total setup. Like I was being a douche. And so he did, and he was chill as fuck. He brought a couple of his students and we trained through COVID and stuff. We were good for a while, dude. And as he got bigger, if you train at Mission, I'm not saying don't do it. If you like it, go over there. I'm just saying this is the business side. So like me and Dave from OC had a business relationship. I did not idolize him like everybody else did at the gym because he was like not my coach. He was my boss. And when you get calls saying, what the fuck are you doing? And getting cussed out, like that changes the dynamic between people.
The relationship, yeah.
So like I knew Jace on a training side and a business side of things because he eventually kicked us out of his gym for business reasons. And what I think happened was he had his homie that was coaching there and some of his students got into his ear about how we don't fit in. Because you see how I fucking am with a post. And dude, I'm not bullying. I'm not the good job guy. I'm not whatever. I don't coddle people's feelings. So this is what I think happened is he got some cancers in his ear that said and kick him out. And we were out, dude. That's all well and good, but I have a lot of other stories about Jace that I probably shouldn't say because it's all hearsay and this, that, and the other thing. But on a business side of things, dude, props to him from growing his gym. He's probably one of the best marketing guys as far as growing his gym. He's in a huge spot now, but he does everything I talked about. And that was part of it. He's got not a belt system. He's got some kind of rank system. He does tiered payment. He does separate the classes out from beginners to this, that, and the other thing. He has a lot of connections. He has a lot of opportunity, dude. I can't fault him for that either. He didn't train Travis Peralta. That guy came from Hawaii. He's homies with Travis's coach and he trained there. So good for him on using that for promotion.
I thought he started from Mission, dude. That's interesting. Yeah.
Nope. Travis is from fucking Hawaii. He's from Mango Tree, Hawaii, Muay Thai over there.
I love Travis. He's such a good guy.
He's a sweetheart. He's a good guy.
I think he just moved back to Hawaii.
Yeah, he just moved back.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Damn, wait. So when did he go to Mission then? For some reason, I thought he was one of their like.
He moved here for a while at the end of COVID in that range. That's the only time.
Like 6 years ago or so.
Yeah, and he was fighting out of Mission for a while. I think he technically won that WC belt while he was at Mission. But Jace is a fucking smart dude when it comes to taking shit and marketing, bro. Like I don't own fucking conditioning and Muay Thai training. I'm whatever. But it was funny because we would do shit with our guys, and he'd be like, all right, and then start doing it in his fucking class. And you notice that a few times. You're like, all right, cool. Like I don't own Muay Thai, but all right, thanks, bro. I think one of the things that made us fall off too was I would go in and hold pads for him. And when I stopped doing that, it was like another, if he couldn't have something to take, like why is he keeping us around? And dude, I get it. It's business. If I had a gym, I wouldn't want some other coach in there teaching their style. So I'm not saying he's the devil, but we did have a falling out and he said some shit about students and stuff that I don't really appreciate. So, but train where you want, dude. I'm not here to make him lose business. I don't think he's going to lose any business from this. And when I do post memes about certain shit, I get 10 DMs from different gyms. Oh, that's Mission Jace. So it's not a secret that he is the way he is, and other people have dealt with him, and I'm not the only person that has negative feelings. So, and I'm sure he'll listen. DM me, what the fuck is wrong with you? He knows. Or not, he'll ignore it. He makes way more money than I do.
He's doing good, bro.
He's doing good.
Whatever he's doing, dude, his gym is incredible, bro. I haven't trained there, but I have friends that train. I see videos. I was gonna go over there a while back, and I don't know. I just haven't had time to. I just still want to. Watching this, no hate. Don't send your guys to beat me up, please. I'm just here recording. You know.
Well, I have the videos too where we're beating him up in sparring, so I could always post that too if he wants to get stupid about stuff.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
he was a good guy for a while, and then he made a business decision which rubbed me the wrong way, and I don't think, knowing what I know that other people have said and all that shit, that kind of just wasn't a good way to end things.
Yeah. So how many years ago was that? That was like, what, like 6 years ago?
That was a few years ago. Yeah. Years ago. So it was when he had the second location off of like Carson and somewhere down there in Long Beach.
Yeah. Do you think there's ever room for you guys to be cool again?
No, I don't.
Is that bad?
I don't need it from him, dude. He's done other stuff since then to other teams and friends of mine that I don't need to make amends with him.
Yeah, I got you.
As I would say on my post, I'm already good at this because I'm better than. I would say my knowledge base is a lot bigger than his. So, you know, if you want to fight with me on marketing and growing a business, he's got me beat 1,000 times. If you're talking Muay Thai ability, technique, and knowledge, I think I've got him outpaced a little bit on that. So, don't have to worry about that. You know.
Yeah. So, what would you say the style of the den was in terms of the way your guys' technique? Is it like more of a traditional? Or?
Yeah, we were more traditional on the Thai stance. I did a lot of the rhythm work, a lot of the long guard, short guard, different stances. And my approach was to try to just show them as many tools as I could and show them how to use it. And then whatever they wanted to do after the fact was on them. You know, try to go through as much strategy, focused a lot on technique and stretching and conditioning. And we'd do 45 minutes of tire flip, push-ups, all that stuff. Shut the up, phone.
Conditioning is I think that's the biggest factor in a fight is conditioning, dude. Mm-hmm. I think you can win a fight with the basic technique 100%. And better conditioning than your opponent. You know?
If you have a jab, cross, and a kick, and you can do that 1,000 times every round, you're gonna win.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it for sure. Yeah, you don't need to know all the fancy shit, you know.
Well, it's funny too because that heart and that conditioning and the ability, like a little bit of toughness, all that shit will outperform like flawless technique. You know, so on one hand, you don't need flawless technique, but it's better to know it and know as much clinch work and all that other shit. You don't have to do it all, but if you know it all and know the application, it's going to help you out.
Yeah, well, it's just having more tools to win, right? So obviously, it's like you don't need it all, but then you come against an opponent that's like better than you in these other avenues. You have something else to pull from that you could find that you're better.
And a lot of kids get stuck. People that train, whatever. Everybody gets stuck on just doing it in like one rhythm and one strategy. And so and this is 99% of people. This isn't a dig. This is just how the training world is. You get that you like to do, and that's all you do. But it becomes predictable, dude. And as a coach, you should tell people like, hey, dude, you're doing the exact same thing 3-4 times in a row. You know, you got to mix it up. So like when I coached James, who's running the gym now, it was the same thing. Try to show him as much as possible. He spars nothing like how I spar. Mm-hmm. You know, how he coaches is a lot of the same way as I would coach. But like what he focuses on and how he likes to do things is 100% different than how I would have done it. And that's totally fine, dude. He does what he likes to do. You know, there's no like right or wrong way to do shit. I think the only time that falls into place is if you tell students you have to 100% do it this way all the time.
No, I hate that. That's a terrible coach, bro. If you meet someone like that, then you gotta find somewhere to train. But no, dude, that makes a lot of sense, dude. Like for me personally, I'm a heavy kicker because of the Taekwondo background. Mm-hmm. And to break my habits of just kicking is like I used to be told to like only throw like X amount of kicks per round, you know, like 4 or 5. And so the whole rest of the fight, like I'm forced to use my hands because it's like to develop my like, you know, more of a boxing style and all that other. So now, yeah, you're right, bro. I agree with 1,000%.
Well, I would have the guys we would do like offense defense drills where it's like one side can only punch and one side can only kick, or you can only use the teep on defense, and just force them to use different tools. And one thing I didn't do a lot was like choreographed pad work. So if we did a combo, it'd be like really short, 2 or 3 moves and then free flow between it. Or if we're working a skill set, you know, maybe a 2 or 3 combo for that skill set, free flow between, get back to the combo, go back and forth. So pad holding was like a big thing at the gym as far as teaching people how to do it correctly and how to go back and forth. Because I think one of the other downsides for training is that people are too reliant on these choreographed drills that only work when their opponent is wanting to do it.
Yeah. You know? No, that's a very Thai approach too, because the Thais, a lot of the times they don't even like tell you what they want. It's like they kind of let you pick what you want, but that's hard because you have to have a guy that knows your style. You know what I mean? But yeah, a lot of times when I watch the like Thai pad holders, it's like they'll be training with someone that doesn't even speak Thai, but they're just catching shit. You know, I want to learn how to do that. Do you ever do it like that, or you just let
where
them
they're free flowing and catch?
Yeah,
you have to be.
I
think you have to be closer with with your boy.
Yeah.
But like, so the way I break it down, because I don't do any of the numbers, dude. I can't tell if you ask me what number 5 is for a strike. I have no idea.
Yeah.
So how I was taught was the direction, the way you're holding the pad equals which shot you're throwing. So like right arm with right arm, left arm with left arm. So it's jab cross, you know, the same. And the angle indicates whether it's a hook or an uppercut, and your distance is going to indicate whether or not it's an elbow or what kind of knee you're throwing.
Who did you learn Muay Thai from?
Dave Jansen from OC.
Oh, Dave Jansen. And where's his lineage from?
He trained in Sityodtong.
Dude, you know what's interesting is that's how we do it.
Yeah.
That's exactly how Frankie does it. And I think, and I don't know if Brian Popejoy does it that way, but I think it's because that's how they learn from like Master Chai or something.
No, I think, so I'm fairly certain Brian Dobler went to Sityodtong. Dave's from Sityodtong with Kru Yodtong, like back in the day in Thailand. Dave says he went there first. I don't know if that's true or not, but he was there. But even Dave's style, so his pad work is very Thai, but his fighting style is more like Dutch.
Yeah.
Because he's very, very heavy on the gas tank, very heavy on like understanding the rhythms and the beats that people are fighting at, and being able to like break up their timing. Like, and it's kind of almost like a math thing. If he's throwing 2 shots and I throw 5 and I can keep doing that, I'm going to win.
Yeah.
So he has that style, that toughness, and he was a hard ass dude. He would go flip. The first time I did Muay Thai, conditioning was tire flip. So the big fucking diesel truck tires that are however much they weigh. And he left for like 45 minutes, came back. Everybody was still flipping tire. And then, all right, inside.
Sorry.
And it was all like jab, cross, kick. That's it. Go.
Yeah.
You know, and I couldn't walk for 2 weeks after that, dude. My legs were dead.
Dude, that's so interesting you said that, because I don't see a lot of people hold pads like that, dude. Like, I don't know if
I don't think they know how.
I don't know if I'm explaining or if it is around, but so I would just explain the way we do it. But so the way like I would hold pads for someone, like if I say 3 and I'm holding my hands like that, that means I want a jab, cross, and then a hook at the end. Obviously, I have to catch the 3, you know. Or if I say 3, I mean, and I put this hand up first and this hand, that means I want a cross hook and then another cross. Is that similar to?
No, I do it more like free flow. So so usually what I'll do is like, especially as I'm working with guys that are newer coming up, right, that aren't 100% there and I'm still fixing their shit, is like we'll go through some free flow rounds to see where they're at, and like what I don't like. If they throw something I don't like, we'll focus on that. So if the jab comes out like crap or the cross comes out bad,
just keep
we'll do that.
Yeah.
But if their technique's like 80% good and we'll get into a flow, there might be something I see like strategy wise that I want them to work. So I'll come up with a combo as we're doing it, but it's kind of like mutual. Like it's something they're going to know how to throw, and then something I can feed easily.
Yeah. And
where I get into trouble is like, we'll do the combo 100 times and then go to free flow again. So we do a lot of that. And the only time I would do like a combo, like this is what we'll do this, you know, jab, cross, rear knee, rear kick, is to work either their balance or their timing or something. There's like some skill set that they're missing that they need to focus on. It's like, all right, just do this until you can get it, and then go back into free flow and shit. So it's always kind of back and forth.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, I got to come train at where you at training at? Still at the den, or?
No, in my garage, bro.
I'd say where do you live at? Are you living
in Fullerton?
Oh, bro, yeah, I'll come by sometime, bro.
Yeah, dude, I'm up on the north side of Cal State, off of like Associated and Yorba Linda.
Okay, that's not too far.
So it's like, it was like 20 minutes to get down here.
All right. Yeah, I'll stop by, bro. I'm curious to see how you like your work and stuff. Yeah. I got a random question for you though. Do you prefer to start someone from like the ground up, or do you prefer to grab someone that already knows the basics? No,
I'll take ground up. Yeah. It's too hard to rewire somebody's habits, you know, and that's, I think, one issue Jace probably had with us, is that our style was totally different from how he does it. And again, dude, I don't fault him for that part and like wanting his students to do his style. But again, just the way he approached it was kind of dog shit. But so, for example, like when I'm going to give away the secrets here, when Jay spars, I don't know if this camera sees it, he's very bladed.
That one is right there.
So he's super bladed on his lead leg. So it's a hard time to check and stuff. And that's good for like long guard if you're going to teep and jab and have somebody's timing down, but it's not the best in every situation. So whereas when I do it, I'm like 1 foot's out 45, or both feet are kind of 45, and you're very square
boxing
to start, so that they can check easier and get those foundations of like the check and how the jab cross should come out. And then after that, they can do whatever they want, you know, because hopefully by then they can check fairly regularly and adjust. And then I let them, do what you want after that, you know?
Yeah. I think that's the thing that's overlooked too, is the switching of your stance between like a traditional like karate boxing stance into a traditional Muay Thai stance. I think a lot of people pick one and they do that a lot, but the beauty I think is it's like, if I'm going to box, I should get into my boxing stance. And then if I'm going to be defensive in Muay Thai, I should be bladed, you know. If I want to kick, box. If I want to kick, I should be in my box stance unless I'm going to throw something straight, you know?
Yeah. And that confuses, that's something like I got to work on for myself on how I explain it to people. Cause like I'll tell them to get in their stance with their palms out, and then I'll bitch at them that they're not jab crossing how I want, but it's not.
It's because the stance.
Yeah, the stance is fucked up. So it's like, okay, for jab cross, let's set your hands like this, and then, all right, adjust. So
yeah,
it gets tricky, but
yeah, that's something I don't even see a lot of people talk about in classes. I actually noticed that because one of my one of my partners is Julio. I don't know if you know him, Julio Rios. He's one of our fighters, but he's like heavy in the boxing. Like he took boxing, just pure boxing classes. So it's like you'll see him switch from his Muay Thai stance to his boxing stance once he's ready to let his hands go, you know? And I remember sparring him and I would be like catching that. And I'm like, bro, how do I, like, he do it so effortlessly. And I remember for me, I'm like trying to think like, okay, if I want to punch, I should get like that. And I'd have to try to tell myself to do it. I couldn't, it would be off, I wouldn't be able to do it like clean, you know? And so I started working that a little bit more because of him. And it worked, and it started helping out with kicks, like side kicks and like that. I'm like, oh, now I can open up side kicks when I get into this, like, you know,
you just got to make sure your lead leg doesn't get chewed up with a leg kick or whatever.
That's why you got to learn to adjust.
Yeah,
Go back to your, yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's something I don't see people talk about in, at least the classes at our gym. I'm like, damn, we should like talk about that more. It doesn't have to be one or the other.
Yeah, no, you could do whatever. It's like, so one of my homies is I don't know if you know the Thai twins, Joey and Jay Macrom. They've been around, and the older Muay Thai cats will know them, like the Pope Joys and all those guys, because they were all part of like that same generation. So they grew up in Thailand, and they grew up in the same neighborhood with like Senchai and shit. So like he and Senchai are homies. They'll fucking talk on the phone and shit. I don't know if it was 2 years ago or whatever. I think it was probably 2 years ago. Yeah, 2 years ago on the Songkrong Festival, the Thai festival, when they had Buakaw and Lurdzilla and Senchai and Yod and all those guys were down. And Coach John from Bangkok, because he and Joey John used to be Joey's student. They all went out drinking, and like the Thais were making fun of him because he can't drink like they can.
Yeah.
So he got all the Thais drink like fish, bro.
I see they fucking get drunk and then go fight sometimes, bro. That's crazy,
that's
dude.
Old school style. Have a few shots, smoke a cigarette, and go fight.
I love the cigarette, bro.
Yeah, what Joey always told me was like, if you can make it work, you can do whatever you want. It doesn't have to be like, you don't have to throw it just like this or just whatever angle, you know, if you can make it work. And if you're not getting decked in the face, dude, and you're hitting them, then it works. Who gives a shit what it looks like, as far as like, it's not traditional Thai. I don't think, you know, we have the idea of like the golden era Muay Thai and the stance and the rhythm and the long guard and all this shit. But even within that, like Senchai doesn't do that. Buakaw doesn't do that. Yod Senklai didn't do that. They had very like closed, aggressive stances. Senchai's all over the place, so it's different, but I have a funny Senchai story too. So it's different, dude. There's different styles within the Thai boxing, you know. Oh, the Muay Famir or Muay, I don't know, dude.
Yeah.
I'm the worst Muay Thai coach with Thai shit in history. Like, don't ever ask me when somebody fought, because I have no fucking idea. I just can show you the technique and how to hurt somebody.
Yeah,
like,
you just like the martial art aspect.
The martial art aspect.
Like the history is like whatever. No, I agree, bro. It's you only have so much brain capacity, bro. It's like, you want me to coach you good, or you want me to sit here and mouth off?
And that's why fights, yeah. And that's why too, like I always make jokes about like people would rather have the costume of Muay Thai on versus actually knowing how to do it. They're more concerned about, are my robes sequin? Do my armbands look good? My monkol are pretty, you know? And then they go throw haymakers. You know, how many times have you seen that?
Most of the time, bro.
Yeah,
like 90% of the time.
I would rather know how to do it like legit and not look Thai, which is hilarious, because anytime I go get Thai food or whatever, and we have the gym shirts on with Muay Thai and they're Thai run, they come out and you know, Muay Thai, no, him, yes. And you point to James, because James looks like a Thai fighter. He's lean and shredded. Yeah. And I'm like, you motherfuckers, dude, I fucking trained that guy. Fuck you guys. So I've never had the like, oh yeah, you look like you do Muay Thai or whatever. You know, so
I think that's also what kind of holds the sport back is like you have like this oligarch that like is like, oh, that's not official Muay Thai, or that's not how we like things. But that's what allowed like MMA to become so big so quickly is it got rid of all of that. It was like what's effective and what works the best. You know what I mean? And that's the cool thing about like MMA fans. It's like their beliefs on it is like they're willing to change. Like right now, wrestling is really big, so you'll see fans like even though it's boring, it's like they can sit there and tell you like the Dagestan wrestling is the best wrestling. That's what you need to have, right? That's something that you don't really see in the Muay Thai community because everything's very like at least the generation before me is like this is what Muay Thai is. This is what you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think a lot of that is just so like you have to recognize that when the Thais are training people, that's just how they did it since they walked. They're not going to break down the physics of like, well, the reason we kick this way and we turn the hip is because when you position your body weight over here, you can leverage more power. And, you know, they're not going to explain it to you like that. And you go step, kick, turn your hip.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just how they do it. So then if you then water that down further and your coach trained in Thailand for a couple of years, they're learning that style because that's how they were shown how to do it. The camp down the street might do it 100% different and explain it different, you know? And so then you go, okay, well, this is how I learned it in Thailand. This must be the only way to do it. That doesn't look like how I learned it. That guy must be wrong.
Yeah.
You know? And so that really, I think, especially in the Pope Joy era, because I'm just going to use him as a reference. Like those guys specifically were very much, no, that guy's full of shit, I'm doing it right. No, that guy's full of shit, I'm doing it right. That was like really hardcore on their generation of coaching.
Yeah, and I think also because back then it wasn't as easy to find great training, you know?
No, yeah.
So you had to, like, if you wanted good training, it had to come from someone from Thailand because you just didn't see like gyms like you do today. But nowadays it's like, bro, gyms are everywhere. The internet exists. It's like you can see what works and what doesn't work. And in my experience, bro, a lot of the times what works is like something different. Because you're so used to seeing it the other way, you're so used to training it the other way. When someone comes in and they're like, let me mix in my karate with my Muay Thai or whatever, and they start doing side kicks or spinning back kicks. Obviously, if you're spamming it, it's just probably not going to work, you know what I mean? But if you have it in your wheelhouse and you have the ability to even just switch your stance into that bladed stance at will, it can be effective, bro, you know?
Yeah, well, even the Thais do that too, though. They'll get that long side teep that they'll use. I'm not flexible enough for that. And that's another part of it is sometimes guys get caught into teaching it the way that they can physically do it, and that's it. You know what I mean? Because if you want to kick or knee or whatever, you need to be really fucking flexible in your hips and in your torso to be able to turn how the Thais turn and do that shit. And I've seen guys learn, like, I don't like the up and over round kick. I'm not a fan of that shit. I like more of the sharp angle going up. Yeah. I like how Yod throws it. I would watch the Yod Sinclair video. There's one in slow motion where it shows how he's stepping and how he's turning his hip.
Armpit. Yeah. I mean, under the elbow, right?
That's my favorite way to do it. I'm not even flexible enough to do it like that, but that's how I like to show it. But I see like guys that are stiff will do the up and over, and that's the only way they learn how to do it. And then that becomes, this is how you're supposed to kick. And that's okay, but you have to understand, no, there's 1,000 other angles for that shot, and you should probably learn as many as you can. Because when I hold pads for guys, for me, that steep angle hits harder than the up and over. And old pads for dudes that fight and like fight pro, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, this is the pussiest kick ever. I thought you were doing Muay Thai. What is this? So that's my preference. You know, I can show both and explain to students when you would do or not do this, but I try to go for the harder way to do it, which I think is the sharp angle. I think it requires more hip flexibility and more coordination to get it in. So if you can learn that and you go backwards to the other way, that's, I think, better than learning only the easiest way to do it.
Yeah.
You know?
I think it's important to learn both, right? Because the way you like to do it is good because, like I said, it has a higher percent of landing because it goes under the elbow, you know? But you might fight a guy that he just has that tuck and you're going to kick your foot elbow. On it. Yeah, so maybe bring it up and just start breaking down his forearm now, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
bring
the application. You got to adjust because that's one big thing with guys coming up now too is, again, getting stuck in that one style and not adjusting to their opponent.
Yeah.
You know? Because what if your shit doesn't work against them? What are you going to do? Cry?
Yeah.
You know, you got to fucking figure something out.
Yeah.
And I think that's another area where the clinch comes in, because you could take another approach with clinch work and elbow or knee them and see what they're going to do.
Yeah, that just goes back to what you said earlier, how people get stuck in their ways. It's like, you got to learn all the ways, bro. In my opinion, you got to train all the ways. And one student might be really great at one, like how you said, because their body type or just the way it clicks to them, they might be able to do it this way, and this other dude can't do it that way. And that's why you got to show them both, bro, you know?
Yeah, so
I'm a big proponent of the modern style, right? Or taking things and modernizing it. Like Muay Thai I love Muay Thai. I love the traditional stuff. I came from an all kicking sport, Taekwondo, right? And dude, I'll talk about Taekwondo all day. That shit's bullshit, right? But there are things in Taekwondo that are effective, bro.
Yeah, and applicable, and you can use it.
Sidekicks, they work, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know why people in Muay Thai haven't adopted the sidekick, but kicking with the heel and getting that extra range from the side, that shit's effective.
Do
bro.
a spinning back kick with your heel to the guy's temple and see how well he's standing after that.
Yeah, and also the thing about Muay Thai and karate too is that the using your footwork for defense, being able to go in and out quickly, dude. I would much rather just get out of range than blocking it. But blocking still hurts, bro, to me at least. You know, I'm sitting here like this hurts.
It all depends, because like the way I'll tell the guys, I would prefer they check and block first, because the risk with going back, for me, I don't give a, you can think I'm wrong. The risk for going backwards is that you're going backwards, and if they keep pressuring you and you're not a good counter fighter, or you don't have a response for them coming forward, once you get on your back heel, dude, and you catch an overhand or something, you're going to be toast.
Yeah, well, especially this rule set from Muay Thai, they favor the
forward fighter.
But you got to learn it all, baby.
Yeah, you got to do both.
I think for CTE, I'd rather get out the way. But
for CTE, right.
I mean,
it works until it doesn't.
Yeah.
You get hit in the dome.
But my favorite style when I first was coming up, dude, is I really love that Dutch style where you just catch and shoot it back, bro.
Yeah.
I think that's so beautiful, bro. But I also, that just grinds your body down.
It grinds it down, and you need to have the gas tank for that. So like, again, on the downside, the positives and negatives, it's a good style to counter the ties, because if you eat a leg kick and you can throw 5 hands back hard, then you got it. But if you can't, or if your punches are soft, that Dutch style needs you to be fucking hard.
Yeah.
You know, and you can't, guys will do that and they're like, oh, I'll just eat the kick Dutch style. And it's like, yeah, but you didn't return any shots back. You're losing now. It's not working.
Now your legs fucked, bro.
Yeah, and your legs.
Yeah.
You know, it's risk and reward for everything. So that's, in sparring and in training, I think that's how like Dave liked to do it, was the Dutch style, because he was so focused on that gas tank and that cardio. If you could just outpace your opponent, you're gonna win.
Yeah,
you know?
No, you will though, for sure.
Yeah.
You can.
But I don't do that. I was always lazy, dude. I never had the cardio for that style, so that's when I got like more used to counter shots and like being more Thai style. And it was funny because even Joey and Jay, the Thai twins, would be like, yeah, you don't fight how Dave fights. You do it more like Thai style. And I'm like,
yeah,
and just try to figure it out, you know?
I love watching the Dutch style. I think it's beautiful. I just don't prefer to do it because I think it just sucks. You're just eating shit just as a counter, and I'm like, fucking, my forearms hurt from blocking.
His ankle was bolted together.
Yeah, both of them, I think, right? He said he couldn't ride a bike.
Yeah, so
yeah, that dude was fucking crazy guy.
Even like John Wayne Parr too, dude. I think both his hips are replaced. I think he might have a knee replacement too.
John Wayne Parr, yeah, I saw him a few years ago. He looks, bro. I remember I did a seminar and just him punching was like his elbows were all, yeah, it was, and even when he turned his head, I was like, dude. Yeah,
that's a lifetime of that abuse. That's the risks of that style.
Yeah,
that tough guy. I'm gonna just eat shots.
Yeah,
you know. So there's good and bad for everything. You know, the more you learn, the more you can adjust and counter people.
Yeah. Well, Yotsenklai, bro, he had to retire because didn't he have like 2 knee surgeries on the same leg?
Did he?
Yeah, he had like 2 knee surgeries, and then one signed him, so he came back for a few fights, and then he just was like, nah, my it's too fucked up, you know? But I mean, look at his style, bro. He used to just kick people with his left kick. Like he didn't care if you blocked, he would just kick and then you're guard, you know? That's just gonna fuck shit up, yo. And
a lot of that is like part of that old school Thai style that I don't think people are willing to take on anymore, because a lot of that is there's a gamesmanship to the fight where you're not supposed to show if you're hurt. Yeah. You know, so whether it lands or it doesn't land, you just sit there and take it.
Double down.
And dish it back out. Yeah.
You do it again, you double down just to prove it didn't hurt, bro. Yep. That's what made those fights exciting, man. You know?
Yeah. So for me, like, I think it's important, like, to me, everybody wants to skip like steps 1 through 8. You know, they want to go straight to step 10 and be senshai or do the fancy shit. And to me, dude, I think you can't do that fancy shit without a foundation and understanding the like old school Thai style, because it's not going to work. We've already had like I said, in the 80s where the American kickboxers got their shit kicked in by the Thai fighters. Like, we've already been through that phase of testing to say that, yeah, karate doesn't work the best. You know, like, oh, but who's the Kyokushin white dude? I don't remember his name. He's a big guy. Like, somebody will know what it is. But like when he would fight the Thais, but they were always smaller than him, and the rule set was always towards Kyokushin style, not Muay Thai style. Yeah. And it's like, okay, cool. There's things that work when you take out 10 other tools that the Thais can't use. Yeah. You know?
But also with that, dude, I think now the times changed, right? It's like now that traditional style, in my opinion, isn't like the most effective style, you know?
Yeah, not for like one, or I still like it, dude. I still think it's a good base for people.
Yeah, it's a great base. It's great. You have to learn it, bro. But I think just like there was a renaissance period with like the karate and the taekwondo, it's like I think we have to accept that it's happening with Muay Thai now, right?
No, it has been, and I think this is where we fall off. Like American Muay Thai falls off because I think in like the mid 2010s, right, 13, 15 was kind of like an opportunity for American Muay Thai or Western Muay Thai to kind of take over, or not take over, but at least like really compete at a higher level. And because MMA was getting big in Thailand and shit, right? So instead of MMA bringing attention to Muay Thai and Muay Thai growing, the Thais in East Asia took American conditioning and training methods and the science and just made their Muay Thai even better.
Yeah.
You know, so I think we missed out on an opportunity to like catch up. And I don't think we further catch up and improve by going backwards and saying, let's just incorporate this instead of learning how they do it. Learn how they do it and incorporate your other.
Yeah, no, I agree. That's a good point too. We just gotta make it more popular and have people start from a young age, dude. It's really hard because the brain damage, though. That's kind of like a big thing right now.
But again, the Thais grow up doing that. Like when they can train or they spar, they're doing Thai sparring. They're touching. They're not cracking each other heavy in training. They save that for the fight because they fight 3-4 times a week.
Yeah.
You know, and even the fights, like, are they really cracking each other that hard, or are they taking their bot and going home?
And a lot of times it's like if they are cracking each other hard, it's going to be only for like 2 rounds.
Yeah.
Out of 5, you know.
You know, so they're smart on the longevity of it. You know,
it's part of the culture. That's why it's
it's part of the culture. They do it since they can walk.
Yeah.
So if you want to compete with somebody that's doing it since they can walk, you got to get your reps in to catch back up. There's another page I saw. He was in the UK. He said the Thais do too much sports focused conditioning. It's like, how do you think they hit so hard, and how do you think their technique is so good? It's because they do sports specific conditioning and they do thousands and thousands and thousands of reps. You know, so people gotta bite on the mouthpiece and do the work.
Yeah, I think the sports conditioning is what is making Muay Thai better, is because I feel like athletes are starting to take the conditioning a lot more serious now.
Yeah,
because you're seeing people that it's like this new generation, it's like they're multi-sport athletes. It's like they're going to probably go to college for football. They're just doing Muay Thai on the side or something, you know, but they're taking like that work ethic from like football or whatever, you know, and they're applying it to their Muay Thai. And at least when I see people do that, that's when I see like the best like fighters, like when they train, like they're going into the NFL or something like that. And it's funny too, because I'll see like these fighters enter like the like MMA space or the Muay Thai space, and they'll be like NFL players, and like obviously they're not going to get the belt because it's like that's just too much to catch up to. But you'll start seeing people like for their first fight and they're fighting another guy that's maybe got 5 fights, they're beating him just with their conditioning, bro. You know what I mean? So I think the sports conditioning is important. The Thais, they understand that, but they're also training like 10 hours a day, you know. And
by the time they get into like the 1FC too, they've like Rod Tang, dude, he's still amazing, but like how many times has he had weight cut issues?
Yeah.
You know, so there's some of that aspect where I don't want to say lazy, right? Because I'm a piece of shit. But they do get that money and that attitude, or just fight another weight class up. You know, I think him and his opponent for the last 1FC were both overweight. And Rod Tang, I think, just didn't pass hydration or something like that.
Nongo was that. You're talking about the one Nongo, right? Yeah. I didn't want to see that fight, man. Yeah, I love Nongo. But I'm like, dude, he's had so many fights, dude. I'm like...
Rod Tang's got that chin on him too, but for how long? He's young as fuck. Yeah. He's still in his 20s, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how long does that last?
I can't speak Thai, but I feel like he talks retarded.
Right.
I'm watching him do his interviews, and I'm like, I don't even know what he's saying, but something seems off about that.
Yeah, dude. And what sucks, or maybe it's culture, so I take that back. It doesn't suck, but like his money, the majority of that shit's going to his family, his team. You know, he's probably well off now for Thai especially, but
yeah,
you know, to fight that much, it's their fucking job, dude. From the time they're a little kid, that's how you make money for the house.
Yeah.
And so it's like that aspect of the fact that they're doing it to survive and we do it for fun. That's a huge motivating factor for your skill difference.
No, for sure, dude.
You know?
Yeah.
Like you're taking money away from, like I had one of my students, old students, when he went to Thailand, you know, they liked his style and how he was trained. So they put him into a fight and he won. I'm going to fuck up his record over there, but he won a couple of the lower end pros out there. And then when he got to a position where he was going to win like a low end belt, to fight for it, the dude beat the shit out of him. Like, if it's a money thing and they can do it, they're not going to let you beat them. The couple other fights, and again, beginning pro, he has way more fights than I do. I'm not trying to talk it, but like, there was a lot of that where, that maybe they're kind of letting you do good. They see you hit hard. They don't want to take a beating for no reason. They're going to let you take the win, but it's a different game when it gets to the higher level pro. The compliment he gave, or I took it as a compliment, is he came back and he's like, one of the big differences between Thailand is here is that like every Thai gym has like 20 of you as far as the trainer goes, like 20 guys with your knowledge base that can help out. Mm-hmm. And that's a big thing with the skill level. Like what the gym has one coach and one assistant coach, a couple of assistant coaches. That's not 20 fucking pros that know how to hold pads well.
Yeah.
That's a huge difference. So I think like back in the day, Pope Joy and those guys, there was more of like an elitist level of like Muay Thai gyms of quality. And I think now everything's kind of just evened out. I think you're more likely to find an okay Muay Thai gym than you are to find one that's like, oh my God, these guys are the best. Because even Pope Joy with Janet Taunted Jackie, they struggle at the high level. They're amazing fighters, but they're still at that level. There's a difficulty.
Yeah. She just lost her last fight with that.
Oh, Jackie?
Yeah.
I sparred her when she was like 17.
Dude, I can't believe how old she is, bro.
Yeah.
I thought she was like younger than me, dude. And then
so her sister is married to somebody that I used to train with at OC. And so she just happened to come down. Like, I think she was still in the amateurs probably. And so it was just funny. It was just to see her like, I remember when she was fucking a little kid and doing this shit, dude. Yeah. Now she's probably kicked my head off.
My coach Frankie, he showed me, because he, like I said, he has a relationship with Pope Joy. He used to train with Pope Joy, but he showed me videos of Jackie when she was like a kid, bro, training. I was like, well, that's crazy.
And imagine the difference too, because if she's been doing that shit since she's a little kid, she has the best coaching you could probably get in California. And to think, talking about skill gap and how we got to catch up, dude, to think that at that level, it's still fucking difficult.
Yeah. And she lost to a European, her last fight. Wasn't even a...
Well, Europe and the UK and Australia take it way more serious than we do.
Yeah.
100% more serious. They're closer to the Thai in skill level than I think we'll ever be.
Yeah. Well, like in parts of Europe, you can do like kickboxing and Muay Thai as like a academic,
Oh yeah? Shit.
So like, for like, it's like football to them, like that,
We had a kid when I was coaching at OC, we had a kid come from the UK and he was showing me how they set up, I don't know if they still do it now, but he had a passport book for his amateur fights. And every amateur fight, they like would stamp it. And when he got a certain amount, he could go pro.
Well, that's interesting.
And I was like, dude, that's like a good way to do it.
Yeah.
Wins. Now we have the other thing holding the sport back is in CSAC changing the rule set for headgear and all this bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, dude, nobody wants to do 5 fights to get through headgear. Headgear sucks. It cuts off your breathing. It cuts off your peripherals. You take more damage. You take more brain trauma. Oh, it's for the safety. And fuck you guys. No, it's not.
Yeah.
Back in the Van Nuys Muay Thai gym days where it was Muay Thai kickboxing gym was like the only spot to host amateurs. You would just go and like, hey dude, do you want to wear headgear? No? Cool. Do you want to do elbows? Yes. Fuck it. Let's go, dude. What's your record? There was no like, how many fights do you have? You were lucky then if like you would show up and the opponent was the same guy on the card. Like they would change opponents all the time. People would dip out and not say anything.
Yeah. I think they got it wrong, bro. I think all these regulations, they think they're helping push the sport forward because I think in their opinion, they're like, oh, we can get guys the same level. It's going to be easier to do matchups in terms of skill set, But what I think all that does is like, it just helps noobs that are never going to go pro enter the space and feel comfortable doing it.
That's what all the PKB shit
And no offense, I don't mean noobs like that. But yeah, it's basically, that's all they're doing is they're just helping that side of Muay Thai grow, but that doesn't do anything for the sport,
bro. It's not going to grow it, dude. They got IFS has full-size championship belts for the fucking PKB tournament, dude. Like that dude's not going to say... That guy's not going to post up, I fucking won my point sparring competition. He said, I got a championship belt for Muay Thai is what he's going to say.
Yeah.
I think I fucking hate the PKBs. They're if it was half the price to register, I'd be all for it. But it's fucking almost $100 to register. They don't give you a fucking refund if your opponent pulls out. They don't tell you like, yeah, we got you matched up. They'll say, oh yeah, we got somebody for you. But if every time we've gone and taken guys, one of the guys ends up not fighting because their opponent dipped out or they f***ed up the scheduling.
Yeah.
And it's bullshit, bro. Like our guys still condition and drop a little bit of weight to go compete. Like, and they're paying almost $100.
Yeah.
Like, come on, dude. So that's a fucking racket. I hate that shit.
I like the idea of PKBs. I just hate how it's being implemented. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think PKBs should just be for like novelists, like people that are just training for funsies. You know, it's like I don't see it as an avenue to get into the pros at all.
Like what James does, my buddy that's running the gym now, is like some of the guys have started saying like, "Hey, we want to compete," and he's like, "All right, here's what you're gonna do for conditioning. Like, you guys are gonna fucking be responsible for yourselves and do this." Because James is just coaching to like run a business and coach. He loves the sport. He likes teaching. You know, he's not in it to like train a champion to fight. He just wants to keep doing the sport. So like he gives them a list, tells them what to do for conditioning and shit. And if they don't do it, he lets them do the IFS combative sparring to see if they like it.
Yeah.
You know,
that's what it should be for. That's all it is. It doesn't need to, it's never, a lot of people are going to do PKBs and they never go on, you know, to do anything else. And that's fine. But I think if you're trying to build the sport, it's like, we got to start at the amateur thing, invest money into the amateurs. And then from there, we can start building the pros. But the PKBs, that should just be a thing more for like just the hobbyists and stuff, you know?
And you have the issue with it is there's so many fucking sandbaggers that are like have amateur fights and they go do PKBs.
That's exactly, yeah.
And you're like,
that's why I keep them out of that, bro.
Yeah,
Once
you switch over to amateur, there needs to be a better record keeping of like that license.
Mm-hmm.
And like, if you're a fucking piece of shit, dude. Unless you're the worst amateur fighter on the planet, if you have amateur fights and you're going back down to PKB, I just want to stay active.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that's exactly what I meant with that.
But then there's the issue: how many promotions are there? Because IKF, Sean, he does like his events is like a 2-to-1 ratio. For every 2 combative sparrings, there's only 1 amateur. Mm-hmm. You know, because it's probably less money for him to run that. And he makes more money to.
It's all about the
50 fights instead of 25.
Yeah.
You know, it's the double.
You're paying like $50 to fight a person, right?
That's you still register every time.
Yeah.
Because you have your amateur license, you don't pay another registration fee for the year.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you just fight.
Yeah.
So now they're reliant on ticket sales.
Yeah.
You know, to make their money. And I get it. You know, it's funny with the page, the Cali Fight Pull Out page. The first few I posted, I would get DMs from like the promoters and the matchmakers, like, yeah, those guys, whatever. I think some people thought it was George from Fighters Rep.
I thought that's who I thought originally because your page popped up right when Fighters Rep ended.
Fighters Rep folded.
Like right when it ended, yeah.
I know George. I talked to him a few times.
Are you guys cool?
No, we're cool. Yeah, I like that guy. He Fighters Rep used to be probably aside from kickboxing being stupid, the best amateur show in Southern California, dude. He did so much fucking work for the guys.
I loved it, bro.
Like he would do podcasts. He would do the media days at the gym. You know, fucking whatever you wanted to do. If you wanted as much promotional time as possible, he would do it for the guys. And so I know why he fucking folded, bro. I think everybody knows why he folded.
The money?
No, the last show he did, hopefully I'm not putting his business out there too much, but the last show he fucking did, like 6 or so fights pulled out the day of. There was somebody supposed to fight for a championship that had to be fucking begged to go fight. He didn't want to go fight. Mm-hmm. Fucking begged. That same dude was fucking sneaking people in and then fucking causing shit with his staff. And he's like, why the fuck am I putting up with all this shit, dude? They don't appreciate it. They're pulling out like crazy. And it cost me money. He has wife and kids, dude. He was like, fuck this. I'll go spend time with my kids.
Yeah, and he's like a lawyer or something.
Yeah.
So he's like, I got money, dude. I don't need to put into this. Dude.
Yeah. And that's all his money going into it. I don't know if he was profitable. I don't remember him ever telling me if he was or not.
Probably rough if he was, bro.
So, but like it was a good venue, dude. Fucking Commerce Casino. Mm-hmm. Like that was a sick show, great venue. And it was streaming. So fucking organized. I remember because I would go help corner with John for when Majali was doing the Fighters Rep stuff. And it was like, hey, you're up next. You start wrapping hands. You're coming up. Like they were so fucking well run, dude. Mm-hmm. I don't think people have any idea what they did or what they lost when that show folded up.
Yeah, I was bummed when it ended. We had some guys fight there. I like what George was doing. Well, there was some. There was some beef between him and my coach. You know, some shit happened. I think because
it always happens.
Yeah, I think Frankie's an old school guy, bro. He's like he's the type of dude where word is bond. You know, mm-hmm. So if something happens, he's gonna kind of like look at you weird regardless. You know.
Yeah.
I don't need to get into all that, but I've explained it on prior podcasts. But because of his beef with Frankie, bro, I think that one had beef with me, bro. But I was like, bro, I'm not Frankie. I'm my own guy, dude. Like I don't. That's not. None of that has anything to do with me, you know. I tried to get him for an interview, and we were talking, we were cool, and then he found out I was from Spider Muay Thai. He told me no, dude, and he was like, "I'll never come on your show." And I was so nice.
Sucks.
I still follow him. I don't care, bro. And I was like, "All right, well, I support your show, dude." But
he's been like, he does his podcast and shit too, but no disrespect to George. I just think without a promotion or anything, like, this is going to sound worse than I intended to, but I don't think anybody gives a shit like what he has to say.
Well, the brand is all Fighters Rep, and so now, but now he's doing like media, like fight media. You know, I'll watch it, bro. Especially he knows a lot about boxing. I get a lot of my information about boxing from him because I don't really stay up to date with it. But like, I have no problem with them. I would love to squash the beef one day. You know, the other thing he got mad at me too was because when Fighters Rep like was shutting down, like I did an interview with someone and they said it before he said it, but I didn't even know. I thought people already knew because I'm not privy to anything. So I thought he was coming on and talking about what was already known. You know what I mean? And then he got mad. Dude, he DM'd me, was like, wow, how'd you put that out before I had a chance to publicly make a statement? And I was like, dude, I didn't even know, bro. Like, no one told me anything, you know? But that was the other reason why he got mad at me.
What difference does it make? The show's closed.
Bro, it was like, dude, we reminisced on like all the good memories and shit. I was like, bro, we talked nothing but good words, bro. Like, you know, and people, when I posted it, people were like, oh, I'm sad. And like, they're tagging him and shit. So I was like, bro, it was all love, bro. And at the end of it, like, I think after a few days, he kind of apologized and was like, oh, yeah. Like,
cool down.
Yeah, you know, so, but like I said, because of my history with my coach, I think he kind of like doesn't like the idea of me.
Yeah, well, dude, I don't think Dave liked a lot of the coaches in Southern California, bro. I think they all had, like, that generation of guys just all had beef with each other, going back to like, it's all money, dude, right? So like any risk to your business or like to your livelihood is a threat. You know?
It's like what happened with you with your gym, bro.
Yeah, so I get it. Yeah. And I wouldn't I don't know. I don't give a shit. I think I'm fairly certain I didn't give a shit if my students trained at other gyms. The brain damage might delete my memory a little bit, but it wasn't really a big deal. We had a lot of guys that came from like, they would have been at Heart and Pride or a couple of the gyms in the area in Pomona and came over to us for one reason or another. And I never had fucking issues. I don't have, like, even with Heart and Pride, dude, on my personal Instagram page, when it was like the Den Muay Thai or what it is now, Padman Muay Thai, the memes I post were like directly about like Heart and Pride or fucking some other gym. And Mickey and I are fine. Like, he doesn't give a shit. You know, like, so, and we talk all the time. And I've talked to Mickey. He's like, dude, I got to do what I got to do to fucking keep business going. Otherwise nobody trains.
That dude, like you got to, if you want to make money, it's going to come at the sacrifice of like it being a fight gym, you know, or it being a like fighters only type gym. Yeah, man, it's a small community, bro. To me personally, I'm not trying to make enemies with anyone, bro. I'm just trying to watch the sport as a whole grow, you know, and I have no beef with anyone, dude, no person. So, George, if you're watching this, hopefully we can be cool. I would love to get an interview because, man, I'd love to hear his stories, dude. But
you should have Jason on and see if he's going to be like, fuck that guy.
Jason's got beef with him, bro?
No, with me.
Oh, with you? Maybe after he'll be down to come on. I've spoken to Jason before. I'm not like too tight with him, but I don't even think he follows me. But we've like,
no, he's in his own little world, as he should be. You know, he's doing his own thing.
His shit's successful, bro. That's the biggest gym in Long Beach right now. Like, straight up.
Yeah, but the problem is, like, his students are going to probably get offended or whatever the fuck, but it's not. It's you know, tiered payment, pay to play type of shit, you know. He's got a lot of people that have been trained by other folks that, you know, he's claiming as his own and shit, and do what you do to make money, bro. But I think at a certain point too, there's a little bit of integrity that you could also have at the same time. Like, Tyreek is not his fucking student, you know, he's on the amateurs. He went overseas with them and competed. That's not his guy. And Travis wasn't his guy. Like, you know, he did train a lot of dudes from the ground up. I just don't know if they're competing or not. The female coach that was there, though, that was supposed to fight the CSA chick, or she did fight the CSA chick, that's not his student, you know? So he has a lot of opportunity and connections, and fucking use them, dude. You'd be stupid not to use them, you know? If Senchai walked into my gym and said, I want to fight out of your gym, I'd be like, fuck yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
You know?
Just put them all over your fucking gym walls.
I told you.
By tomorrow, bro.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
With my student, Sanchai.
My student, the one that I trained from scratch.
Yeah, bro. I mean, me and Sanchai go way back.
Jace isn't unique in that, dude. Every gym has guys that have come in that trained before and they take credit. That's what you do.
Yeah.
You know, why wouldn't you have a fighter in your gym and try to use it to promote yourself?
No, for sure. Yeah, man, at the end of the day, dude, we're all humans, bro. We're all just trying to make an opportunity for ourselves, you know, and sometimes that opportunity comes at the cost of someone else's opportunities or rubbing someone else the wrong way.
That's the part, like, I've had other gyms poach my guys that I had, like, during or after COVID, like my students that I was still training, like from Pomona, you know, because one thing I posted about is like students not appreciating it, right? So there's like a 6-year period where I was training people for free. I still train my guys for free. I don't charge them anymore, you know? And so when they like are supposed to be training for competition and they go party and I go, what the fuck are you guys doing? the response I would get back is, I'm a fucking adult. I can do what I want. All right, dude. And I just trained you for free for the last 5 years. You want to give me 10 grand or do you want to listen? You know? So that kind of ended up like, I fell out with a lot of those guys. They all quit and left. And there was another gym that was like actively like, dude, I'll give you whatever you want. I'll give you a key to the gym. You can train whatever you want. You can train classes. You can do to like get them to go over there. And they all went over there.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I spoke to you about that, dude. I actually do want to touch based on that is the emotions that happens when you're like a coach and stuff like that. I don't know how to word that properly, but dude, like that same thing that you just described, it happened to my coach, dude. There was a point in time where he was going to shut the gym down, bro. And I don't think people understood how serious they were besides like the OGs there, like me, Julio, Chris, Algo, you know. But yeah, Frankie took off for like 2 weeks. He was going through it, bro. Like he had just found out his son had autism. I think his son was like 2 years old, bro. So he got really bummed because he's like, I do so much for everyone, you know. It's like, you know, and
they don't appreciate it.
Yeah, they don't because
they don't get this. Like a lot of people don't understand like that kind of sacrifice, and it's not training specific. I think it's any type of like mentor specific relationship.
Yeah,
like the year and why I get so anal on technique and how I do it, and why I would prefer people learn the shit that I teach them to do, you know, versus like, I learned how to do this over here. Like, I don't give a shit, dude. Like, do it how I tell you to do it. And if you can get them both to work, then cool. But right now in sparring, I'm kicking your ass with the way you learned how to do it. So you might want to learn how I'm showing you to do it, you know? But like that, like, dude, I never really had anybody take me under their wing to like, hey, I'm going to show you Muay Thai. It was always like, I busted my ass and trained to learn how to do this shit. And when students don't appreciate like the knowledge you're giving them or how long it took you to learn something, and you're just like, all right, dude, I'm trying to give you the keys to the castle here, and you're saying no. So it drains on you, bro. That's why I'll never open a gym again, dude. I have a how much did I spend on that spot? I'm down 50 grand. I have a lawsuit against me from the landlord.
Damn.
Because his property manager told us to just leave when shit was going south. And I was like, all right, cool. And being a dumbass, I didn't get it in writing. So he came back and countersued me for damages, or sued me for damages. And it's just like, fuck, dude. Like, people don't know that shit happens to people. They don't give a fuck.
Yeah, that with training people for free, you know, driving people to their fights, taking time away from your family to just corner them. You know what I mean? Especially like if you're like a smaller gym, it's dude, you're not like hustling and diming them. You know what I mean? You're sacrificing your time and your knowledge to someone just for them to kind of like go party when they're supposed to fight, or go to another gym and, you know, just be like, all right.
Yeah, if you don't have an assistant coach, right, which actually probably your assistant coach is going to go corner with you. Let's say weigh-ins are Friday and the fight's Saturday. That's 2 days the gym's closed.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's enough for somebody to be like, the gym's closed again.
Yeah.
I'm done, you know? How many people can you take like that before you're like behind on your bills? Stop dying, dude. You got COVID.
I know. Let me ask you this random question. When you were coaching, how many times did someone ask you about how your day was going?
Fucking not once.
You know what I mean? But
James probably did.
How many times have you asked like a student, like, hey, how's your day? How you been?
Every day, every student, right?
Yeah, bro. Listen to that. And people watching, bro, people don't even get that. It's like they treat their coaches like a therapist a lot of the times, but they don't even give them like the same humanity that the coach is giving them, you know?
And it's rough too, because I think one mistake that coaches make, or maybe I just made, is like being too close of homies with your students. Because that makes it worse. I think if I had set a boundary and said, nah, dude, you know, while you're here, you're listening to me and you can do whatever the fuck you want outside the gym. You know, it probably wouldn't have been as bad when people left to other gyms or I went out of business or something. But like, I was like, dude, I was trying to get you a job. Like, you know, like you were fucking struggling. You didn't pass this test for this job and I was trying to help you out. Like that. When people leave, you're like, dude, what the fuck? Like, what did I do to you? Yeah. You know?
Yeah. It was like, bro, you become more than just a coach. You become like a friend. You start, you know, doing favors and making personal sacrifices, you know, that aren't even related to Muay Thai or anything, you know? And that's what a good coach does, bro. Honestly, the reason that I really like Frankie is because he goes above and beyond, bro. And like, he really becomes like part of your family. He'll look out for you, you know, if you need something. My car's in the shop right now. He like, when it broke down, he's a mechanic. He works for Land Rover. He sent me a message like, hey, I could probably figure it out. But I already know. I'm like, dude, this dude's got 3 kids. He's got a wife. He's at the gym all the time.
You're still offering to fucking fix your car.
Yeah, I was like, bro, I'll pay the money, bro. I was like, I'm not going to take time away from you, dude, you know? But people don't see all that stuff, you know, and then they take off and they make new connections, and it's like, bro, that's like a piece of like your family just left, you know.
Or you can run somebody's gym for a while and then they kick you out when they get back. That was a fun one too. That's why I think that's like probably 99% of the reason I'm not like, oh my God, I'm so close with like Dave. Because the funny thing with him is he's a very charismatic guy and he's very knowledgeable. And then like, say from the ground up, like training guys from the ground up, there's so many dudes that were like, he changed their life. It was like, oh, I don't know, fucking homeless or whatever your sob story is. And then I found Dave in Muay Thai and oh my God, my life turned around. There's like, he had a lot of those kinds of like relationships with people. And I was just like, I'm just kind of fucking here to do Muay Thai, dude. Like, I don't, not to sound disrespectful, I don't need life advice or anything. Like, I have a job.
I got my shit together.
Yeah. So anytime people would say that, I was like, yeah, I don't see it that way. And I have a business relationship with him. Like, I got yelled at on the phone for not doing something right at the gym or whatever, you know? But it was a trip because he's so charismatic that the fucking, even the dude that got me into Muay Thai that I had known for fucking 20 years before that, like was like, oh my God. And like would listen to his side of the story versus my side of the story. I was like, if you want to get an idea on how like influential he was with people, like, fuck dude, that was a rough one too. I'm like, bro, like I've known you longer than you've known him. Like you should be listening to my side of the story on shit.
Oh, it's like when you introduce your two best friends and they become better friends.
Yeah, and you're like, what the fuck, bro?
They start ignoring your calls and shit, you know?
But that's just how he was, dude. He's, you know, he was a good coach for Muay Thai and shit for a lot of people. And then like he had his own fucking shit that happened and he needed to seize the day and make money. And so like that's where that shift came in. And it's just, hey, if you had communicated to me like, hey, we want to go in this direction instead of get the fuck out, like maybe things would be a little bit different. And I said I made amends with him a while ago and he said it was just business and this, that, and the other thing. But, you know, it's still like, fucking dude, that wasn't handled very well.
Yeah.
You know? So I don't think I've kicked anybody out of the gym that I can recall. I remember coaching at OC, there was 2 people that I had to pull aside and say, if you're disrespectful again, like this is not going to end well for you.
Yeah.
And they did a 180 on their personality and became like really good students, you know? Like I don't recall ever having to kick somebody out for one issue or another.
Yeah. Yeah, from my knowledge, we've only kicked out like 2 students that I can think of. One was like this kid. He was like, he wanted to be, I think he's probably a pro fighter by now, but he was just started stuff with Julio. Julio's like, him and Frankie and Julio, like they started Spider Muay Thai together. Like, you know, that was like his #1 student, you know? And I mean, Frankie's even said, he's like, when I die, he's like, the keys are going to go to Julio, bro, because he's going to keep, he's like, my kids aren't going to run this place. They don't care about Muay Thai, you know? But yeah, this kid had beef with Julio, and I'm like, bro, that's like the fucking owner's
the
son,
founders,
right?
what are you doing?
Yeah, I'm like, I mean, so they had some beef, and I remember something happened in sparring, bro. I like was there that day, but I just missed it, you know. And I just remember Frankie was yelling at him in the locker room and kicked him out, you know.
Oh shit.
And then the other guy that got kicked out was this Asian cat. I can't remember. He was Vietnamese. I think his name was Dat, dude. Cool guy outside training, but in sparring, he just wanted to beat you up all the time. And he was the type of dude that would be like, "Oh, my leg hurts. Let's go light,"
and then beat the
shit out of you, right? So whenever I sparred him, I don't give a fuck what he said. I was like, it's a fight, bro. You know, it's because
dude, I can't deal with that shit.
Yeah, but the part where you fucked up with is there's a new student that came in, dude's first week, I think, maybe first day sparring, bro, and that foot that knocked him out with like a head kick or something. Yeah, Frankie was pissed, bro. He grabbed him by the neck, threw him against the wall, and kicked him out.
Dave would have laughed.
They would have laughed.
Well, I remember I was there one time and I had just started, so like I think this is pretty early on, like going to sparring. And the thing, like one of the reasons that I talk shit on like say pads and stuff, right? I'm not a fan of like elbow pads and knee pads and all that bullshit, is because we would go Thai spar most of the time, which is no gear. And then like the next step up was to put gloves on and no shin pads. And then the next step up, if you want to go really fucking hard, was we're going to put shin pads. Shin pads meant we're going fucking hard, you know? So it was one of those times 2 guys were in the ring sparring. I think they just had the gloves on and I just see smack a fucking foot to the face. And the dude goes like this and then looks at his nose and then just collapses and like passed out. And we're like, oh shit. And Dave was like, just take him to the back. And he fucking was in, he came to and went into the bathroom and straightened his nose out. And then fucking was like, oh my God.
Yeah. But those were like friends though, right?
Yeah, they were cool.
Yeah. This is like a completely new student. And like, that's a bad impression, bro. You don't want to do that to the new guy. Now he's not going to want to come back,
depends.
You know? Yeah, unless they deserve it.
Unless they deserve it.
Nah, this fool, it wasn't. I saw the video. We have cameras. We saw it. This dude was not.
Sucks.
He was just playing around with them and like not, you know, having fun. And the other dude goes, he teeped him first. Dude, yeah. So he teeped him and he drops the new guy. The new guy gets up and goes to give him like a fist bump, and then that head kicks him over the fist bump.
Oh, that's fucked up.
Yeah, now I remember, bro. Yeah, so it was all bad. So and like too many problems with that guy. Anyways, he got beat up by Nam Pham because he was talking shit to Nam Pham, and Nam Pham showed up. He was training at UFC gym one day, and someone texted him like Nam, like, oh, this dude's here. You know Nam, bro. I don't know if you met him. Have you met him?
I haven't met him though.
Dude is like old school. He'll just wants to fight like all the time. So he showed up to the gym and beat this kid up at UFC.
As
gym.
it should be, dude.
Yeah, so he had problems. I don't know what's up with him now, but dude.
That's funny because like I never understood. I'm sure your coach and stuff have to deal with this. I never understood like people would come from another gym, right? And they sign up at the gym and then they still want to do shit how they did it at the other spot, and that's okay. Again, but when my students are beating the shit out of you, like maybe you should adjust.
Yeah,
I don't like why would you sign up at a gym and not want to like learn what they have to offer?
Yeah, that's weird.
I think, maybe that's I'm going to go in and I'm going to be the top dog because they all suck, but that's a fucking dangerous game to play, dude.
Yeah, it's I mean, you're just wasting everyone's time, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, what are you going to try to force pad work for them? Force your pad holder to hold pads like your other gym? You're going to try, you have to teach them your way now?
Yeah.
No, but I'm a proponent on like, you go somewhere, learn their style, and then just, mix in your shit with their shit,
Exactly.
It's got to be respectable. Like, I'm still doing it your way, but this is kind of how it works for me,
And if you don't like it, then don't go back.
Yeah.
Like if you're dedicated to, I think a lot of those dudes are probably the type like because a lot of guys came from Heart and Pride. And so I'm sure maybe they had an issue with Mickey or something and left, right? That's the only thing I could imagine. But Mickey's the nicest guy in the world, so I'm sure it's just their fucking ego. If I match that idea with how they acted in my class, it's like, all right, they probably got an ego on them, and got booted or whatever.
That's big.
But
everyone thinks they're the top dog,
dude. It goes back. I said I had a Senchai story, dude. Let me get into this. So I went. This is another difference between Americans and Thais, right? When Senchai's first seminar was at Evolution, I think it's Evolution MMA up there in like Fontana area. It's Joe Davidson. That was his first seminar. This is when like Yokow was just starting to come through and like get their brand going. It was really to sell Yokow gear, right? More than it was to have a Senchai seminar. And it was hilarious because I went with Joey. I didn't sign up for the seminar. I fucking hate seminars too. I talk shit on them all the time, but whatever. That's another topic. I went with Joey because Joey and Senchai are cool. And dude, I don't think Americans realize how pissed off the Thais get when you act fucking stupid. Because like Senchai would come up to Joey and like they would talk, and I'm like, "What's going on, dude?" Like, I'm just like listening, and Joey would be like, "Oh, dude, he's pissed. He doesn't like how these guys are sparring hard. He's like, why the fuck are they trying to hit me so hard? If they want to go hard, I'll fucking go hard on them back." And that's when you start seeing like the teeps out of the shit and all that stuff. And it's like, dude, like you're gonna go to a Senchai seminar. He's about 1,000 times faster than probably anybody else I've seen, sparring. It's probably not a good idea to fucking try to punk him for your 15 minutes of fame.
It's Senchai, bro.
Yeah.
Like, do you really think you can stand a chance, bro?
You're not doing shit.
Senchai will be 50 years old. He'll still beat you up, bro.
Dude, and it's interesting because I saw how like they set up the seminar, right? So it's like $100 or whatever. And you pay extra, or at least on this one. I could be wrong, dude. And hopefully Joe doesn't come at me. But like, you paid something. There was a certain group of people that were allowed to spar with him. Mm-hmm. And because like they would funnel it. Oh no, this guy probably paid for this. And so you have to spar with him. But I remember there was a kid there. He wasn't from that school. He was like Asian, and he had like just formal fit, like very respectful. And it was that was the only person that Chencha was like, I want to spar that kid, because he was like the most respectful one, and they had a good time.
Yeah.
So like, don't be that guy, dude.
Don't ever, when you meet someone new, spar hard.
Yeah.
Just in general, bro.
Well, the Thais don't spar hard to begin with.
Yeah.
And so like he took it as an insult.
Yeah.
Like they're trying to fucking show me up or something.
Dominance, yeah.
So then he proceeded to beat the shit out of everybody.
Well, it's just like you go to a new gym, bro. Don't spar hard unless you're invited there, you have a friend there, and there's a relationship, and you guys agree, Yeah. But if I go to a new gym and I end up there, I don't like to go on sparring day just in general. It's my first day at a new gym, because I feel like already people are going to be looking at me like, did he come here just to spar? Mm-hmm. So I'll purposely try to avoid going to a new gym on sparring day. But if I happen to go there for whatever reason, I'm just playing around, bro. I'm not like, dude, even if I'm better than this guy I'm sparring, there's like going to be 10 other guys that are better than me, And the second they see that, they're going to be like, all right, just line them up.
And that's that attitude too is something to drill out of kids. I remember coaching some of the guys, dude, and they had like just that ghetto chip on their shoulder, where it's like you have to kind of beat it out of them, because they'd be good on technique, but if they got hit too hard, they would all like turn into a fucking street thug and let's go, dude. And you're like, bro, like the fuck, you guys are training, chill out.
Yeah.
Like you're supposed to be homies. Oh, that took a long time to drill out of some of the guys, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. Gym culture is fucking important, bro. Etiquette, dude. That's another thing that I feel like is not big. That's going away in American Muay Thai. Is like, I don't see people bow in front of the mat, the ring or the mat anymore. When I go visit gyms, I don't see.
I don't do that.
You don't do that? Yeah, sorry, bro.
No, you're good. So like, and that's another thing too, because like, so from Joey and Jay and Dave and stuff, they would always be like, they don't really actually care about that much.
Yeah.
Like, be respectful to them, like if they're Thai, because that's their culture, but like they don't really see the point when it's not super culture focused. And that's why I talk shit on like the crew certifications and stuff like that too, because like, bro, we're not Thai, dog. Like, I never called myself crew. It's just coach, and not even coach. Just call me Alex, bro.
Oh, I like the art. I like the art in martial art. Like, I like the certain traditions. The white crew, you can get rid of. Obviously the certificates, you get rid of that. But just respecting,
the
like,
basic respect bow. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, like this is like a art of violence, you know. And so I've always been big on like, you know, bowing before you the mats. I used to, because for Taekwondo, when I first started doing Muay Thai, I had the habit of bowing before every round.
That's how it was with karate too.
I had to break that out of me, bro. People always get mad at me. I'm like, I'm sorry, bro. You know.
Yeah, we had in karate. It was like, bow before you get on the mats, bow before you spar, bow before you bow. Before you take a shit.
Yeah, I mean,
you know? Like,
I enjoy some of that stuff just because, I don't know, maybe because of like my history with it and stuff like that. But I think it's cool when I see kids do that. I'm like, all right, you came from a, you know, respectable gym. I also like when you have your lineage and you have a picture of who started it. That came, obviously, that's big in the traditional arts, right? Even if you never even met that guy.
I have a Photoshop picture of myself with abs and a championship belt. So that's what I have on my own wall. Is a picture of me.
Yeah, that's good to your students, bro. Whenever they start their own gym, be like, here you go, bro, use this.
No, what's funny is like, but anytime I go to the gym to go spar in Long Beach at the Den with James and his guys, like if somebody's new and they don't know me, be like, oh yeah, dude, it's my first day.
Yeah. Just see how what they do or what?
Yeah, and see what's up. Because like James and I have never really been big on like, oh dude, that's the coach or whatever, you know, like that kind of attitude, which is, it has its like benefits and then it doesn't, you know? And so like people will be like, if I spar them, like, oh, how long have you been doing this for? I was like, oh, I taught James.
Yeah.
And they're like, what?
Yeah.
So, but we've never been like really big on that kind of shit either. It's just different. As long as you were cool and not a dick, like we didn't get on people about a lot of stuff, which does cause problems sometimes. Like some guys that take advantage of that kind of shit. That's the dude you pull aside and go, I'm gonna fucking kill you if you say this to me again. And they're like, oh
yeah. You get some of those.
Yeah. Well, we talk a lot of shit, dude. Like we'd always say, if we're not talking shit to you, we probably don't like you that much.
Yeah.
Because this just shows like you're comfortable with somebody if you can like with them a little bit.
Men's shit, bro.
Yeah.
This is a men's sport.
Yeah. So
sorry, ladies.
Some guys would get butthurt about it, and it's like, all right, dude, I guess we're just gonna treat you like everybody else then. Which means you get the minimum instruction and fix because like you're not cool.
You're just a regular.
Yeah, you're just a regular.
Bro,
dude.
you gotta get the talking is part of the game, man. You gotta have there's a physical resilience in the training, but you also gotta have that mental resilience, bro. And being able to joke around with people, that's like, you know what I mean? It's bonding.
That's what it's supposed to be, is like bonding and shit. Because like dude, I used to get the crap kicked out of me all the time at OC. Like I remember sparring this dude. His name's Neil. He's cool, dude. He's Filipino. He lives out in Florida now. He kicked the shit out of my arm, and my elbow swelled up to where I couldn't bend my arm. And I remember that was one of those decision nights where I was like, fuck these guys. And my buddy goes, just hit them back. Like, if they hit you, hit them back. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then it was fine.
Yeah.
You know, or I sparred another dude. He ended up being a really good friend of mine. Like, his name's Steven. He's 6'4". And he's been doing martial arts since he was a little kid, too. And I remember I didn't know gym etiquette for, like, Muay Thai in sparring. So, like, I caught his teep, and I thought it was, like, on him to, like, get out of it. And I just held it. And I'm a fucking strong guy. So he's, like, trying to get his foot out. And he's like, you're just a fucking bully, dude. What the fuck's your problem? I was like, I don't know what I did.
Yeah.
And then I didn't see him for like a year because he would go to the morning class. And when I started coaching, he goes, hey, dude, like, I want to fight. Can you help me? And we became fucking like really good friends after that. And he'd go fight. He knocked out a kid in before we called them smokers. Like they didn't even call them like point.
Yeah, PKVs, yeah.
It was just like, we went down to San Diego and it was just like a sparring thing. And he knocked a guy out on accident. And then he hurt another guy on accident. And it was just like the skill gap.
Yeah.
So he ended up fighting amateur, and then he moved up north and shit, and he went away.
That's what happens in this sport, bro. It's like your friends, dude. Like you train, you'll have your favorite training partner, and then they live life, they get married or whatever.
I know, it's fucking bullshit.
You know what I mean? I remember being the new guy at Spider, and now I look around the room, and it's like me and Julio, and it's like it, bro.
Yeah, it's tough. Like
Everyone else is new.
Well, for a gym too,
Newer.
I think like one of the things that attracts people is you have to have a standard to like look at and be like, that's what I want to be, you know? Because like at OC, again, the training being like 2 or 3 hours, like the people that were training casually probably train harder than kids do in fight camp now.
Yeah.
You know, because if you went 3-4 days a week for fun and you were doing 2 or 3 hours at a time, like you're in better shape than most kids nowadays that just do their bullshit. And it was such a big thing to like new guys would come up and they'd see everybody training and hitting the pads. And like, that's what I want to do. That's what I want to look like. And I don't think you have a whole lot of that now because the fight teams are so small, like, and they're separated. You know, a lot of times those fight teams are separated from the rest of the class. So it's like the newbies might not see like what you can get up to, or worse, if the philosophy and culture is like, I'll never be that good, because people get that shit too. Like then they don't set the bar high enough. Like I would tell people, no, dude, it doesn't matter how long he's been training longer than you. You have an opportunity if you put in the hours to beat his ass. That's on you. Like you can outwork somebody and beat their ass.
Yeah, that person got beat up by someone better than them a long time ago.
Yeah.
Could probably beat up today because the other dude stopped. You know?
Yeah, dude. So I don't think like you should be setting the bar low or I'm never going to reach that or whatever. And some people probably aren't, you know, because not everybody's equal, dude. Like some people don't pick this shit up as well as others.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, maybe you should try jujitsu.
Yeah, try jujitsu, bro. Hug it out.
Well, you actually brought something up that you just reminded me of a conversation I had a few days ago. One of my training partners, I'll call him, I don't know, I'll just use his name. I don't know if he cares. DJ. DJ.
Fucking DJ, dude. I hate that.
No,
guy.
I love DJ.
Fuck
He's a cool
that
guy. He's a cool guy. DJ, he barely had his first PKB. He actually won it against the dude from Oyama. It's a good fight. But DJ, he's always telling me how he feels like the gap is always increasing for him. He's like, I train longer than this guy, and this guy, he hits harder than me. He's cleaner. He beats me in sparring, you know? And just like even leading up to this fight, he just like was getting in his head, you know? But like a few days ago, he brought it up again to another student. He's like, yeah, he's like, I feel like this other guy that I started before him, he's like better than me now, you know? And I was like, bro, like, you're not him, bro, you know? And he hasn't fought. You fought, bro. You won your fight, and you fought a guy from a good gym, dude. So it's like, you don't measure yourself in like the things you see. It's like because someone else is looking at you and they're thinking the same thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that it just stops your growth. But there are people that have seen that like pick this shit up in like 6 months.
It's crazy,
and like
huh?
look perfect.
Yeah.
And then what happens? They get a boyfriend, girlfriend, and they leave.
Yeah.
That's happened way more times than fucking the opposite, where like you train them up to fight, dude. You have people like that are, I guess you could say naturals or whatever, but it's not their interest or their passion. And there's that balance. You got to be fucking tough. You got to have technique, cardio. You got to have the drive to fucking fight and train. And you got to be able to go out there. Like you could do all the fucking work or outwork somebody on the conditioning and pads and be like, yeah, my cardio's sick. And then go out there and freeze and then get your fucking head kicked in.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes it's just not for you. It wasn't for me, dude. Like I got my face pounded in my last fight. That shit sucked dick. I went to fucking, where did we go for dinner after that? Buffalo Wild Wings. And I didn't realize I had fucking dried blood all over my fucking face because my chick didn't tell me.
Everyone's all scared.
And I'm like, can I get a beer? And the guy's like, yeah, bro.
Dude.
And I tell my chick, I'm going to go use the restroom.
Oh my
and I look in the mirror and I'm like, what the fuck, dude? I just like covered in dried blood.
Yeah.
And that was coming from my nose. That was mine.
Yeah.
So it's, it's not for everybody. Just like coaching. Don't win your PKB belt and say you're a coach.
Coaching is hard, bro. I'll like sub in for people and run classes. I told Frankie because Julio, he's out right now because he just had another kid. Like this is gonna be his first week on, so I told Frankie if he needs me to cover his classes, I'll do it. I don't like teaching the big classes. I hate it, bro. I think about it all day when I got to do it, and I'll prepare by writing it in my notes so I stay on point. You know, I prefer smaller classes, like 3 people max, and I prefer someone that has like basic knowledge. You know, like I want to be able to improve on what you have. I'm not trying to start from the bottom.
No, it sucks too when the classes are huge because like, what are you're gonna say one thing to each person if you're lucky.
That's the problem I have, bro. Is I'll sit there and I'll try to teach a switch kick, and then I'll be like, oh fuck, bro, like they don't even have the coordination.
There's been times where I've done that too, where it's like, let's work on this. Oh shit, they're not even close to that. You know what I mean? And then you like, I got to dumb it down like 5 steps.
Yeah, and just
that's fine, dude. You don't have to. I wouldn't be tripping about that kind of shit. They're not ready. They're not ready.
Yeah, they're not ready. But to me, I'm just like, I just wrote all this out, and then now I'm like, or the other problem I have is like, I'll see someone struggling, and I'll try to help them out, but then it's like, damn, each round's like 2 minutes. I just spent like 45 seconds on this one guy,
Yeah.
So that's the other problem I have. But whatever, dude, I'm gonna do it, dude. And honestly, I feel like it's gonna be cool because I'll get better at it at the end of it. But
dude, coaching and like learning how to hold pads for so many different people, and like like I was basically like forced to get good at this because I had to like keep a gym going and I had no fucking idea what I was doing. So like to learn all the different body types and shit, that's like what made me a good coach, is to just be able to, all right, this guy's not picking it up how I explained it this way. Let me try a different way. And then like figure out as many ways to explain it. And then like when you figure out and you start seeing what people are doing wrong, that helps how your technique is too. You know, you just got to register everything.
Yeah, I do notice when people start coaching, like it helps their technique a lot, dude. Like I see it's in terms of like, it's more of your approach to fighting improves a lot because you're seeing different levels and different things, you know. It makes you think differently. It's like you're not thinking like a fighter anymore. Now you're thinking more strategically, right? Yeah, I think this year I'm gonna try to get more into like helping others out, cornering and coaching.
Oh, are you that guy that doesn't want to hold for the newbie? Are you that guy?
Dude, I don't like holding for newbies, man.
No,
no offense, bro. Not that I hate. I'll do it in a class. I always bring someone new into my class. I just don't like holding.
We're gonna have to delete the whole podcast. You're the dude I don't like.
I'm sorry. I just don't like holding for new people because, bro, it's dangerous.
Yeah, they suck.
I'm a small guy, dude. It's like if you kick wrong and you hit me somewhere, it's if like I'm holding for someone that's like 200 pounds. I'm 150, my heaviest, bro. And you fucking like miss the pad and you fucking kick me in the face. It sucks, bro. You know what I mean?
And I would tell dude, go fucking slow. This is exactly what we're doing. If you hit me, I will fucking kill you.
Yeah. I feel it. But no, I don't hate on teaching new people. I just try to take one new person at a time. Yeah. That's my capacity, is like one new person at a time,
and
bro.
It's different too. Like I can understand people's frustration when they're in fight camp. They don't want to hold pads for the new guy. They want to be focused on 100%. Get that.
Yeah.
But like I've had so many dudes that they get to a point that they think they're too good to hold pads for the new guy or to help the new guy. Yeah. And I'll be like, you were dog a year ago and I've been training. This is specific to me because I was training them for free. Yeah. Like you can suck it up and hold pads for somebody. Yeah. No, I'll hold for you. Trust me, bro. I do. No, you don't. You already admitted it.
No, I will. Like I said, every class, it's like our class is set up in threes. It's usually, we have 3 people per group. I always, because I'm like one of the OGs and then I'll train with Loy. He's also a dude that's been with us for like 5-6 years. We'll always get like one new person. Like Frankie will just give us someone new because he has to do it that way, you know? I don't mind it, but the bigger the group, it's like the harder it becomes for me. It's just the way my brain works. It's just too much is going on. Too much.
It's hard to keep track of everybody.
Everyone just sucks. And I'm just sitting here like I'm the type of person where I see someone messing something up. I want to focus on that person and fix that.
Yeah, until they get it right.
Yeah, but you can't do that when you have like 30 people because, like I said, you only have so little time. And you know what? I got to learn to do it how Frankie does it. And I started catching this on is he'll put out a technique and he'll see one person maybe struggling. And so he'll change the next technique to focus on that one thing that one person's struggling on. So it's like everyone's doing it together as a unit, you know? I think I just got to get better at noticing and changing it.
That's a good way to do it. You know, focusing on like a technique for the week or a strategy for the week is another good way to do it. It just depends. You always have to adjust because like I said, I've set up I think this combo is cool or this strategy is cool. Let's do it. Oh, they can't even do the first thing right. So let's not.
Yeah. It's tough.
I remember like I picked up probably the bad habits out of everybody being a piece and a douche. But I remember Dave going off one time because it was jab cross, rear knee, rear kick. And everybody's dropping their hands or they're not doing this or something else. And he was like, God damn it. It's a goddamn jab cross. How many times do we have to go over this? This is why you guys don't get like, he lost his shit, dude. And again, it's like simple shit you've told somebody 1,000 times and they're not doing it. So like practicing and like doing it. I hate how people shadow box. They just do random. And I would tell people, no, focus on your technique. This is the time you want to make sure it's perfect. Like, don't just do random bullshit because you saw it on Mortal Kombat. You know, like, there's always an opportunity, especially when you have limited time and you need to make sure your time is used like well. Do it right.
Yeah, it's tough.
So that's like for conditioning and stuff. Like we'll do teeps on the backs for rounds and skipping knees for rounds. It's the same technique for like at least 15 minutes, and that drills into their head how to do it right.
I'm a stickler for repetition, bro. I'll sit there and teach like a left kick or a right kick, and that'll be like you'll have to do it like 100 times. Dude. It's like that's the best. I think that's how I learned, bro. You know, and maybe everyone else is different, but I'm like I have to do it 100 times.
Yeah, especially if like me, I'm not very flexible. So like, and now I'm fucking old. So I always joke I'm like an old diesel truck. Like I don't have very good mileage, but I have a lot of torque, and it takes a while to get warmed up.
Yeah,
dude. Like, there's been times too. I'll stretch and warm up and do all this. And one step in a sparring, and my calf goes out.
Yeah.
And just fuck.
It's the end of it.
Don't get old. Take steroids.
Take steroids, baby. TRT. Well, Alex, you got anything else going on? What's new with Cali Fight Pull Out? You got
Dude, like it's just been dead with the submissions. I
some
think
shit, guys. Keep this going. It's hilarious.
So here's the rules. Like be the coach or the fighter, preferably amateur, but I'll post PKBs because that's just funny anyways. I think it's hilarious if somebody pulls out of like a IFS PKB style shit. That shit's funny to me. Don't be third party because like don't be some guy that trains at the gym that knows somebody. Like, because I will confirm with the fighter or the coach whether or not it's okay to post. Don't get butthurt because it's still funny. Everybody makes mistakes. Who cares? It's not. See, nobody gives a shit about your amateur career. So like these guys that hit me up in the DMs, like fuck you. Like nobody cares, dude. If you're gonna be a fighter, nobody's gonna see this. Nobody cares.
You're gonna pull out more times than once. If you're gonna do
everybody,
this
it happens to fucking everybody. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
I think what would stop. Or I don't know, make it better or easier is if like coaches just communicated, dude. It's not the end of the world to like, it sucks for the fighter and the coach. I get it. But like, hey bro, my guy fucking twisted his ankle and he's got a tampon up his butt. I don't know, dude. He can't fight. And like, just tell the guy.
Just tell the guy, baby.
Dude, so yeah, our submissions have been dry. That's why I've been just posting memes and stories and shit because I think it's funny.
They're good memes, dude.
And then like talking shit about the industry because like literally all I do, dude, is I follow every gym page in California for the most part. And if somebody does something retarded, and all right, here's a meme about it.
Yeah.
You know, that's how it is. I've been talking a lot of shit about a couple of people specifically, whether or not they catch it or not, that's on them. They've had 1,000 opportunities to change their behavior and fix themselves, but they don't. So fuck that guy. I know he thinks we're all pieces of it, but whatever, dude. If you want to come at me, dude, I'll unleash all the receipts on how you fucked up. But that's it, dude. Like this was just meant to be a joke, like for the most part, because you see how the posts are.
Yeah.
It did give me a lot of like, I got DMs from coaches and teams about what happened. And like, there's a lot of insight to how fucked off the matchmaking and the promotions are on their side of things. And I think that's why they don't DM me saying good job anymore because of like all the shows that have closed or stopped last second or the fucked off matchmaking that happens from time to time. You know, like I'm not on anybody's side. I'm on my side for the sake of the joke.
Yeah.
You know, so there is, dude, and you know, I'm sure your coach knows, every fucking coach knows, dude, these matchmakers and these fucking promotions are not your fucking friend. Like the other teams are not your fucking friend. Like take care of your own shit, dude, because I don't know. And maybe somebody will submit some shit.
It's a joke, guys. Just laugh at it.
Yeah.
You fucked up. You fucked up by pulling out for whatever reason. Just it's funny shit, bro. And you know, if it was someone else's name, you'd be fucking laughing. You know.
Yeah, dude.
So just be a good sport about it, man. I love what you're doing, bro. It's wildly entertaining, dude. I think I wish you could expand it to other states or somehow if you could get connected.
I probably posted shit from out of state that I didn't even know about. And here's the thing too, like I try to make it funny because I feel bad. Like I kind of do feel bad, like, tag this guy. I don't know what he's going through. I'm only getting one side of the story.
But you gotta be objective, bro.
Yeah.
Or
so
no,
like objective.
So yeah, objective, right? I don't know which one it is. You gotta not have feeling. You gotta not
can't
know
have
the
feelings
guy.
about it. So
it's gonna stop
I do a little bit of research to see like maybe some shit happened. I don't know. Yeah. If it looks suspicious as day before, 2 days before, and especially if you get fucking what happens a lot is he pulled out, no excuse, but he's fighting next week. And you're like, come on, dude. Yeah. You can't be doing that.
Yeah, and you guys got to realize, like, dude, the other guy was ready. He made all the sacrifices that was necessary. He cut the weight. He did everything, bro. So it's like you kind of fucked up, man. Own it. I think you should keep it going, bro.
I'm gonna keep it going. Right now it's memes and talking shit until somebody sends something that I can post. Yeah, because there is like I do have to check, dude. I had somebody submit somebody. The opponent was a minor, and I'm like, I can't post that. I had one a long time ago where I don't know if we record. I know we talked about it, but I don't know if it's in the part that we actually were recording specifically to talk about it. But somebody's sent in a submission for a pro fight from a big name gym. It was CSA gym had pulled out. And I was like, I don't think I should post this. Like, I don't know what the drama is behind the scenes. So I didn't do that one. And then they ended up fighting anyways and losing. So it's like, kind of like, you don't talk shit if you can't back it up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't post everything. So if you've submitted something and it never got posted, there's probably a reason behind it. So.
Yeah. Oh, you want to give a quick shout out to your pages?
So I got Cali Fight Pull Out. I don't need people DMing me on my personal page, but shout outs to that. Shout outs to John and Bangkok and Majali over there because they're homies of mine. Heart and Pride, Mickey. I think armbands are dumb, but you're a cool guy. Mission Muay Thai and Jace. The students, you're cool. Jace, and suck a dick, dude. I don't know. And then your guys are cool. I mean, I should show you all the DMs from the different teams that think it's funny.
Yeah.
We'll go through it.
I'm curious to see if anyone said anything about my gym. Is there any like bad blood?
Not yet. No. Did we say it too on the divide? The divide is right down the Master Toddy line.
Yeah, you did say that.
Yeah.
We're not on the Master Toddy side.
Yeah, we're not on the Master Toddy side.
Yeah. I don't got anything wrong with Master Toddy, but I'm just saying
not beef, but it's just
our gym alliance is not with Master Toddy. Yeah.
Well, there's only a couple of lineages in California. So it's like Arjun Chai, Master Toddy covers like 90% of it. Yeah. You know, and then the independents. Like Dobler went to Sit Yatong. Dave's from Sit Yatong.
I thought Dobler was from Master Chai.
I've heard he went to, maybe he is. I think he's in that clique. Because there's like the clique of gyms too. Yeah. Like it was Double Dose, it was Oyama, it was Pope Joy, Rex, Arjun Chai. Fuck, who else? Walter from Sit Yatong was in that clique.
Walter's awesome, bro. I met that guy. He's so chill, bro.
Is he?
I love that guy. I don't think
I've dealt with him ever.
Dude, he's got a cool personality, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see in the I don't know, you can cut all this shit out, but like the 2015, they were trying to do a team, like an Ultimate Fighter style competition show.
I saw that, and it was like a reality show, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. Didn't they film it or no?
I only saw the trailer. I don't think they ended up doing anything with it.
Yeah, I did see that. What was it going to be, like a dating show or something? Or
no, it was like, we're going to build a team. We're going to go to Thailand and we're going to fight.
Oh yeah, that's what it was. They also did a dating show too with the females. I remember.
Did they really?
Yeah, they did. I think they filmed the female one and it just didn't get released. Or maybe they filmed like one episode. But yeah, they did like a dating show with fighters. I remember long time ago.
That's a terrible idea. They should fight at the end.
Yeah, dude, that's what I was thinking. Dude, this is how I thought they should have ran it, bro. It'd be like a in Rocket Love type situation, and at the end of it, the two guys have to fight for the chick.
That would have been sick.
You know what I mean?
I'd be a little like, I don't think you could get away with that in today's age. Because it'd be like, what about feminism? Like, she has her own choice.
Hey, she's got to fight this other chick for her man. What are you talking about?
Exactly.
That's what I was
saying. That would
saying.
have been sick, dude. That'd be hilarious.
Right?
You could probably still pull that shit off.
Dude, I want to do that, and then it'd be so funny because at the end of it all, she ends up going with the loser anyways.
No, that'd be good. Yeah. You know what we didn't bitch about is, I was talking too about the WBC stuff, like how they're doing they got their weird fucking certifications going now with like, learn the rules for $1,000. And you're just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, they just had a thing for it too in Thailand recently, like a few weeks ago. You saw that?
That was, dude, like, I'm not trying to talk on the fighters because it's an opportunity to go overseas and like get experience. But like personally, if I'm spending the money to go to Thailand, I kind of want to fight Thais.
Yeah.
You know, like, I don't care if it's the tuk-tuk driver or whatever, but like, you spend that much money to go train and like fight the Thais, dude. I don't get it. That's just me. Like, no disrespect to anybody that does it because it's a lot of work. But
yeah, it's just weird. Watered down.
Yeah, we gotta start doing we should start doing the fucking watch the old Golden Age fights or something, or the big fights, and fucking talk about them. Do commentary that nobody's gonna give a shit about, but it might be fun.
Bro, you'd be surprised, dude, because those UFC commentary, those UFC reaction videos, they do better than my podcast now, dude. Oh, I'll get like 30,000 views sometimes on some of them. It's just because people want to see what's going on without having to see what's going on, I think. You know what I mean? Like, because people can watch Muay Thai and not know what's going on, but then if you're talking about it, it's kind of like they're listening to like a commentator, like a Joe Rogan, explain the technique or whatever.
Yeah,
you know?
we should do that, dude. It'd be cool to like go back and show people like the Kevin Ross fucking fights. And motherfucker wrote a book about fighting Senshai and got, famous for it. So it's like those are the kind of things like how it used to be. Bring it up. Fucking, I think people.
I'd be down for that. Shit. And those fights they're a public domain, so
yeah,
like you can't do UFC because they're
like Senshai from back in the day, or Yodson Clyde from back in the day. Like,
yeah, that'd be tight. I'm so down, bro. If you're down, I'm like actually serious, bro.
We should get it going.
Yeah,
I don't know how you'd have to figure all that out. I'm retarded with technology, so
I could handle all that, bro. We'll talk about it, dude. We'll talk about it. But all right, dude. So check this out. Check out his page, Cali Fight Game Pull Out. I'll submit if you guys are in different states, bro. You should submit it to him.
Just send it anyways.
I'm so down to keep this going, bro.
Dude, I think. I don't like because I can only speak to how it is in Southern California. I think in San Francisco the game is more serious.
Oh yeah, it seems like it. So thanks for watching, everyone. Alex, Cali Fight Game Pull Out. Hit him up. Submit your stuff. Keep that page going.
Cut out everything I said that's bad and racist.
Yeah, we'll cut out the stuff about the Jew, specifically the Jews. I'm just kidding.
I didn't say shit, dude. Don't even put that on me.
I gotta cut that out because just saying that the algorithm's gonna
You want to do it again for another outro?
Yeah. No, I'm just gonna cut that part out.
All right, cool.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. As always, I'm not gonna say what I used to say because I used to say get high and do Muay Thai, but I'm trying to move away from all that.
Oh, really?
So just go train, go train, man. Have a good time. Go train. Check out the Den. You know, it's ran by new people.
The Den Muay Thai is in Long Beach. Coach James, he's my homie. James is running it now. I am not involved at all with the gym, so if you do not like me, don't start sending hate their way.
Don't send hate their way.
Nothing to do with anything I do.
Right. Don't do that.
Also, we are all strapped to the gills, so be respectful.
America, baby. All right. Thanks for watching, guys.